Do do do, theme song. Do do do, I'm broke, so this is my theme song. Do do do, just imagine this is an awesome theme song. Do do, theme song. Left of the box. Hello, welcome to Left of the Box. Bonjour, bienvenue. I'm Sandy, and over there is John Ross joining me.
Hello.
He's a bit of a twitcher, not a tweaker, a twitcher. I don't know if you do the tweaking part, but you know.
I don't. The tweaking,
Yeah.
the twittering maybe.
Yeah.
I don't.
Twitting?
Unfortunately,
I don't know.
twitting. I have a Twitter.
Yeah.
But I barely use it.
Well, welcome, everyone. This is going to be probably a casual thing because I have nothing planned for this, really, other than, we'll get to it in a moment, that was called foreshadowing, but I just want to say hi to people in the SandBox first. We have Quaximus calibrating. Well, Quaximus isn't calibrating. Calibrating is a different name. Pup Tetris, hermeteorologist. Jet, Danny Benny, Dairy Benny, and Real John Litham. Welcome, everyone. Please be my unofficial producers and let me know if both of our audios and visuals are doing okay. And also,
Yes, please.
John and I were talking right before this, and I ran into one of those things. What is the name of the site where you can go to get celebrities to make those little videos for you? There's a name of it. It's driving me crazy.
We can't think of it offhand.
Yeah, somebody in the SandBox let me know, and then let me know who I paid to make the video for Sam Cedar. So Jet's saying audio is fine.
That's good.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been having a lot of issues with my audio lately, and a lot of it is this interface that I have that I've had to switch out. And so usually my gain is a lot higher. That's the other thing we were talking about before we came on was, for me, it's like I tend to turn my gain up a lot higher than I should, and it just goes all over the place. So I'm glad that it's working fine for both of us.
Okay, nobody has said it yet, and I'm breaking down, so I need to go over to celebrity, not cruises, videos. Oh, messages.
I think Jetson in chat says Cameo.
Yes, that's it. Now, who did I have on Cameo? I had somebody on Cameo to convince Sam Cedar to come on my show. Yes. So we got a couple people, hermeteorologist and Jet saying Cameo at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was a couple years ago. Yeah. But it's actually how we met. We met
through Cameo?
No, I don't think it was through Cameo. It was actually just through word of mouth. It was actually through Discord. I mean, we were both at different points working for TYT, and you as a host or as a contributor, me as a moderator, and everything that's was going down there at the time. We connected, and I remember I sent you a real nice DM thanking you for the support, and
I was a complete cunt to him.
No, you were not. No, you weren't, Sandy. No, you were. You actually sent me a really, and I still have it. I still remember it. You sent me a really nice response saying, and I remember it, it's not easy to leave, to walk away from a network you care about, but it's great that you live your values. Yeah, it was something along those lines. But
sounds like something I would say.
Yeah, but it was very nice, and it was very sweet, and then you gave me the follow on social media after that. I was really happy about that. I was like, yay, another leftist podcaster friend follows me. This is what we need. We need more community.
Yes,
because
we are cross-border solidarity.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you're in the United States, aren't you?
Yeah.
Whereabouts?
I'm a U.S. Missouri.
So and this is your first time on my show.
which I'm actually thrilled to be here,
So,
honestly.
do you know where this is going?
Where this is going, the show?
No, where this line of questioning is going about your location and coming on my show for the first time as an
Um,
American.
as an American,
I don't think he knows. Ah,
I
that's good. That's good.
I don't
No,
think I know. I mean, I know I'm not the first American to come
no,
on the show, but the
no.
first probably Midwesterner,
The
or
first
maybe just that.
time an American shows up on my streams, there's the Canadian pop quiz.
Oh, got you.
Mm-hmm.
I
So,
think, yeah, if this was the Sam, this is what you
mm-hmm.
did with Sam Cedar.
I do it with all the Americans. Well, I
Okay.
don't think I did it to Dan Evans because he was the first kind of name that I had on my show, and that was for my 1 year anniversary, and I wasn't being
Mm-hmm.
that mean yet. But yes,
Oh,
you get the Canadian pop quiz. And caveat, nobody,
yes.
still, nobody has told me who I had on for Cameo. Anyway, the caveat is I only ask questions I know the reverse of.
Okay.
So I'm not going to
Okay.
ask you who, the 19th prime minister was, because I don't even know off the top of my head, let alone what the 19th American president is.
Mm,
Okay, so we'll start with something that should be very simple.
okay.
What is a
Okay.
toque?
Oh, I think I remember this. A toque is I I think it's like a hat, like a hood.
You see, it's very funny right now because you're wearing a toque.
It's a hat. Is it
Not,
like a
I,
hat?
I wouldn't, no, you're wearing a toque.
Oh, I'm wearing a toque?
You're wearing a toque.
A
A knitted winter
n
cap.
yeah. That's where I went to was cap, but first I was thinking hat.
I think
So
y'all call it beanies.
yes, beanies.
Mhm.
Yes, that's what we call it in United States. But toque is better.
Yeah, toque is cool.
Toque is better.
I like the name of toque. Okay, I'm still not. Somebody should know, or at least search my channel because I'm too busy to do it. All my little unofficial producers to let me know who I hired to give Sam Cedar that message.
The
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 cameo.
drawing,
Yeah, the
the cameo.
cameo. Anyway, hello, True Democratic North. Okay, so toque. You're wearing a toque.
Mhm.
What is the capital of Canada?
Toronto?
That's the American capital of Canada.
Oh, Ontario? Scarborough, Ontario?
Well, Scarborough is in Ontario,
Okay.
but Ontario is not a city. It's a
Not
city in the United States. It's not a city here.
mhm,
Although there might be
mhm.
cities called Ontario in other provinces.
The capital of Toronto.
The capital of Toronto?
Or capital of Canada, sorry. I said go to Toronto. That's what I'm
You know
thinking.
what? Toronto's big
The
enough.
capital
It
of
could be its
Canada.
own province.
Yeah. Capital of Canada. Okay. This is where I'm probably going to be on your bad side. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's okay. It's okay. It's Ottawa.
Ottawa.
Mm-hmm. And
Should have
don't
known
worry.
that.
And don't worry. You can't do the worst. You can only tie for it.
Okay. So Ottawa is the capital of Canada. Ottawa, Canada.
Yeah, Ottawa, Canada. And do you know which
Ottawa.
province Ottawa is in?
Oh, I always used to think I was a Canada file,
Mm-hmm.
but I think I'm coming up short. Um,
Little hint, you've already said it.
No, Ontario.
Yes.
Okay, Ontario
Do you know how many provinces there are?
in Canada.
Well, yeah.
Well, it's probably cheating if I count on my fingers.
No, try.
Not
You
really.
can try. I don't have enough fingers to count like all the American states on mine, but you know.
Okay. Let's see. Ottawa, Toronto.
I think you said Toronto again.
Muttering under my breath. Sorry. Well, there's one that I'm thinking
Mm-hmm.
maybe Providence. Is Quebec a province of Canada?
Province.
Province.
Yeah.
Ugh. Why am I saying Providence? Why am I Oh,
They aren't very Providence, but yeah.
Province.
Province, yes. Quebec is a province of Canada.
So that's one.
Uh-huh.
Is Toronto a province?
No.
No? Okay, so that's out.
It's the capital of Ottawa.
Capital.
Or
Yeah.
Ontario, I mean.
Ontario. Oh. I can only name one, unfortunately.
Well, technically, you've named two. And there
Two.
are more provinces than two.
Yeah, right. So two. So Quebec and Ottawa.
Okay, we get a pass on that because they both start with O.
Okay. Yeah.
Ontario.
Ontario.
Okay, I'll give you a hint. It's 10.
10. Oh.
And I'm not going to ask the next question of how many you can name because you already just did that.
I heard. Yeah, I did too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because I was
10 provinces.
I was thinking because you said you've watched my stuff before that you were
Mm-hmm.
going to be all prepared for this. So I had like some harder questions ready to go. Who is the current Canadian Prime Minister?
Trudeau. Is he still? No. Oh. Trudeau is not no. I'm still thinking it in Trudeau.
Yeah, so is Pierre Poilievre.
Well, I know it's not Doug Ford, is it?
No.
No. Oh, yeah.
God, no. Not yet.
No. Oh, well, I actually hope he's not. Never. He's a sore spot for Canada.
Yeah.
I apologize. Prime Minister of Canada. I don't know.
Okay.
You have to tell me.
Mark Carney.
This is Mark Carney.
Carney.
Mm-hmm. Like Kearney.
Carney.
Okay. Carney.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. I don't know. This is kind of torturous. Should I ask you what a poutine is?
Poutine. I've heard this term. No, thanks, Kevin Smith. Isn't it like a? Isn't it like it's like it's a food. It's a particular food, and it's it's like a dip, right? It's like poutine is like a dip. No. Oh, God, those years of watching Degrassi have really. I need to go back. Oh.
Okay. Fries.
Well, I've heard.
It's fries with cheese, curds, and gravy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
At least I've heard the term.
Yeah.
Poutine.
That gives
At least I've heard the term.
That gives you 0.01 point of a point.
Yeah.
Half
a point.
A tenth.
1/10 of a point. Yeah.
You could at least name the category that it was in. Yes, Jet. Poutine is wonderful. Jet says they love poutine, and then okay, now it's back. Okay. Yes, poutine. Okay. I was going to ask one more that I would think is simple, but maybe I don't know. Mm, I'm going to be easy on you, I think. Let's see. I'm just trying to think of another one that you probably should get. Okay, where does maple syrup come from?
Comes from trees, right?
Yes.
Or no, comes
Okay.
yeah.
No, I'll cut you off before you second guess that one. Do you know what kind of tree?
Maple tree?
Yes.
There. Yeah.
There we
That's like
go.
the easiest question.
Well, some people
I
might
see
think
it.
it's a trick question if you. Sometimes when you ask something that's so obvious, people think it's a trick question.
Mhm. It's like
Anyway.
a
Hmm?
yeah. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, anyway, we could start chit-chatting about stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Um, well, actually, seeing as I'm the interviewee and you're the interviewer, you're the host. Um,
Am I? Am I? Because you asked to come on.
oh, well, yeah. Well, I was just
Mhm.
curious,
Mhm.
to because I guess for a while I've been wanting to, I guess, talk somewhat Canadian politics.
Mhm.
Um, just in terms of the differences of what the political parties mean,
Mhm.
from America
Yeah.
anyway.
So the Coles notes of how it works up here. Are Cole notes still a thing? Or is it just the AI generated version of what comes up here only accurate?
Well, everything's usually run on AI these days.
The AI
It's
synopsis of
terrifying.
Canadian politics, but accurate.
Yeah.
The lot B AI.
Mhm.
We'll do that. Okay, so up here we have the Westminster parliamentary system. So some people think, well, you have a parliamentary system. That's great because you have more than one party or more than two parties. And technically speaking, it can be good, but not the way that we do it.
Mhm.
Because in essence, Canada is a two-party country because only two parties have held the House, like had the majority or uh, um, the plural. Not well, okay, not even the plurality because there's minority
Mhm.
governments.
Mhm.
So have been prime minister. Two
Mhm.
parties, conservatives, liberals, and sometimes, occasionally, the opposition has been a party not liberal or conservatives. There's been the Bloc
Mhm.
Québécois and the NDP, who have also been the official oppositions. But the reason why I say it's two parties because the liberals, a little sneaky, when it gets closer to an election, they tend to take on NDP values and erase the NDP from contention because they become one party. But then once they
Mhm.
become the ruling party, they switch and become conservatives. So right now we have a liberal government with Mark Carney, but it is the most conservative government we've had in God knows how long. Um,
Mhm.
the things he's doing is, Stephen Harper's wet dream. The amount of attrition and stuff that he's doing, the cuts to public services, the spending on the military, what he plans on doing to immigration, all of that. It's the most conservative government we have. But a lot
Wow.
of people just wanted him in because the whole elbows up thing that he was doing during the election, where he was saying, I will stand strong against Donald Trump, elbows up. Well, now
And then he
available in Canada, knee pads for elbows, because
wow.
he has conceded to Donald Trump or give not conceded. There's another word that begins with a C. Uh, uh, darn it, what's the word? Begins with a C. That's kind of like conceded. Um,
Yeah.
Concessions, given
Yeah.
concessions
To Trump.
to Trump, and really, there's been not a single win against Donald Trump at
Oh,
this
wow.
point. Uh, And even when it comes to Donald Trump joking about the 51st state and stuff like that, the amount of
Mm.
pushback that Carney gives is so milquetoast. It doesn't make me feel safe. Like for the first time ever, I'm actually like really worried about
Right,
uh,
as you should be.
Donald Trump like completely just taking over Canada because I've never I've never taken it as a playful jab when he says that.
Mhm.
It's his intention to at least try. Um,
Mhm.
and the way that Mark Carney has just been dealing with him has not impressed me, has actually worried me. The first thing
Mhm.
Carney has done that I actually agreed with is the deal he made with China when it comes to EV vehicles, because we should be doing more diverse trading and getting more diverse trading partners, because we can't rely on the United States, because the United States ain't a reliable trading partner right now.
No, no, it's not, unfortunately, under
Hmm.
this president, or
Yeah,
maybe under any president before or after Trump.
I think he's just
Even
kind
if
of, here's the curtain and
yeah.
Uh, back to Canadian dynamics. So, yes, we do have parties. The major parties are the Conservatives, the Liberals, the NDP, the Bloc Québécois, and sure, the Greens.
Yeah.
Even though they usually have one or
So
two to maybe three seats at any given time. Um,
so the Green Party is like the more I didn't mean to cut you off there. So,
mhm,
like, the NDP is like the new Democratic Party.
mhm.
That's like the liberal version of a Democratic Party in the United States. Is
So,
that
once upon a time, the NDP was like the Socialist Party.
Oh, really?
But right now, they are just centrist liberals. Uh,
Wow, yeah.
and then the liberals used to be, the centrists, a little left to the center sometimes, but now they're right of center. And the Conservative Party has just gone, conspiracy theory, right wing, absolute crazy, which is why Mark Carney is actually so popular right now, is a lot of conservatives who haven't lost their minds completely are looking at him and understanding like he's a great conservative prime minister.
Wow.
um, so the way the parliamentary system works too is you can be prime minister with like 32% of the popular vote. Don't tell Donald
Mhm.
Trump. Also, there's no term limits.
So somebody can be in parliament for as long as they have a beating pulse, basically.
Yeah, as long as they have the favorability of the people. So Doug Ford is planning to run for premier for a third time. No, wait a sec, fourth.
He is
Fourth.
I mean,
Yeah.
I have to, I gotta ask, I mean, because I have watched,
No.
your show, your stream as far as, like, your honest opposition to Doug Ford. I mean, it's bad enough that his late brother got enough, attention here in the United States way back
Mm-hmm.
when he was can I say it on stream?
The crack
Crack
smoky mirror?
smoking.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, crack smoking mirror. Um, I mean, he must be just like really killing Canada right now,
Mm-hmm.
especially in Toronto. But it's just like all over Canada, not just only Toronto and
Mm.
Ontario.
Oh, I just want a soul life. Yeah. I'm talking to the
Oh,
good
Soul
John
Life?
Rice. John Ross,
Oh,
not the
hey,
bad
Soul.
John Ross that has been in the media recently.
Oh, well, I also have to preface something. My name has an H in it, and his does not.
Mm.
And I do not want to be uh I don't want to be conditioned or compared. See, there's another C word that's good. Compared to a horrendous supporter of ICE.
Mm.
I do not want to be or any kind of like bigotry of any kind of form
Mm-hmm.
as as a minority, uh
Oh,
as a person with a disability. No, not into that. Just
and
FYI.
also
Hope that
super.
makes sense, Sandy.
Oh yeah, yeah. And also Super Strike 9, I agree with you. Carney absolutely has issues, but is better than Polyev.
Donald James in chat says Doug Ford is the guy who smoked crack. No, it's
Rob
his late brother,
Rob
Rob Ford.
Ford. Although I'm sure Doug
Uh
Ford did too, in my
yeah,
opinion.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Okay, so
definitely.
again, back to back to the Canadian ADHD for the win.
Yeah.
So back to the Canadian politics. So yes, we have the parliamentary system. Um, and so all the parties, given any riding will run, and whoever gets the plurality of the vote wins. So the plurality is not the majority. It's just so a way of explaining it would be like imagine there are 10 candidates
Mhm.
and there's 101 voters. And each candidate gets 10 votes, but then one candidate gets 1 vote more, then they
Mhm.
become the leader. They win.
Nice.
So they would win with only 10% of the vote, pretty much.
So it's not like in the United States where you have to have 270 votes to win. You just have to have 10 votes.
You just have to have more than the other parties.
Oh, yeah, but it doesn't take 270 to win.
Uh, no. So
Hmm.
here it's 172, I believe, that you need in order to have majority, but you can still
Ah,
be prime
gotcha.
minister with less. But what that means then with the minority government is you have to
Mhm.
work with the other parties work with, um,
Yeah,
so
put that
that
in finger quotes.
um, the bills that you want passed will get passed. Now, there's certain bills that have to get passed, or else it will
Mhm.
trigger an election, like a money bill. Um,
Mhm.
the throne speech, like those things have to be passed or it will trigger an election. And so with the
Yeah.
throne speech, that's just kind of like, this is what we plan on doing while we're in government. And so the other parties will be like, well, you have to include this or this or this or something, or else we'll vote no. Same with the money bill, you have to include this or this or we'll vote no. And then it would pretty much, because then the confidence would be lost in the leadership and it would trigger an election. Um, so Oddly enough, though, the Liberals, when they're in a minority position, tend to team up more with the Conservatives than they do with the NDP. Not
Wow.
shocking if you understand that. Um,
Oh, wow.
Although the last minority government we had, last election, was the NDP propped up the Liberal government, and that's how we got our milk toast dental care. So yeah, I'm not thrilled with the NDP, and neither were the voters because the NDP lost so many seats in the last election they don't even have official party status.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
So, with your disappointment in the NDP, do you often like look around and try to keep an open mind as being a leftist in Canada and be like, I actually want to go with this party that's more of like, shall we say, like farther left?
Well, right
Um,
now, it's anyone but conservative, so ABC.
mhm,
Um, So whoever you think in your riding is going to beat the conservatives, who has the best chance of being conservatives, vote for them.
mhm,
That's the only way that I endorse it right now because, there's an NDP leadership race going on right now because Jagmeet Singh, the former leader, lost his own
mhm,
seat and then lost a whole bunch of other seats uh,
mhm,
as the leader. So he stepped down, and there's the race going on right now. And so
mhm,
there's 5 people officially in the race. I've interviewed 2 of them on my channel that
mhm,
people can go and check out.
mhm.
I would love to interview the other 3, but they're not getting back to me, probably because I would ask them challenging questions, more
Yeah,
direct questions, uh, or they just don't know who the fuck I am. It could be either or. And
it could be bored. It could be just both
yeah,
ways.
yeah, they don't really.
I think
I'm not
because
up
they
there in the Canadian
right.
political discourse.
But even if you were, the challenge they don't wanna hear the challenging questions that you're gonna have to ask. That's just part of the interview.
Well, it would be vitally important for them to be interviewed by someone like me because I
Mhm.
live with
Yeah,
disabilities and
exactly.
poverty. I'm queer.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
I'm going to
Yes,
ask
absolutely.
questions that other people won't necessarily ask,
Mhm.
and ask about angles and stuff, but also my severe disappointment with the party because I, at
Mhm.
one point, tried to run for office under the banner of the NDP.
Mhm.
So I did support the party at one point,
Yeah.
very much so.
And what did they do when you ran, under the NDP? Did
I
they try to
have
bury you?
never actually told that full story online before. One day, but it was a pretty devastating blow what they did to me the first time and second time around. Um
They basically tried to bury you and try to, like, not give you a fair chance.
that was the first time. Yeah. They did some things that, definite some biases showing through.
Mhm.
Like absolute the establishment within the party definitely didn't want me, and then the second time it didn't even get that far. Um
Wow. I mean, even politics is shady in Canada as it
Oh
is in
my
the
God,
United
yes.
States, I've learned.
Yeah,
Wow.
and that would be some of my questions for the candidates is what are they going to do to fix the establishment within the NDP, as in fire all of the executive board? Because
Mhm.
it wasn't just me, like the second time round, I didn't even make it past vetting because I was told I have a sense of humor and tend to speak my mind. Um,
But that isn't that what we want from our political outsiders, is a
one would
person to
think
speak their mind?
One would think, but they don't want activists in the ranks. They want people who will be rank and file. So I wasn't the only person that they did this to, where they basically, there was somebody within a riding who was building up momentum and getting, praise from the riding membership and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But then got the executive swooped in, said no to them, and parachuted somebody in, like just appointed someone. So I
Mhm.
didn't pass the vetting, but technically speaking, neither did the person they appointed because they just appointed someone without the vetting.
Oh, wow.
Um, so yes, lots of politics
Shady.
within politics. And so
Yeah,
the
this is so
NDP is
shady.
so far from what they were originally created as. Like the whole reason why we have our universal health care is because of the NDP. But ever since then, both the liberals and the conservatives have been whittling it down to the point where there is now a two-tiered system in Alberta and soon to be in Ontario. Kind of already
Mhm.
here, but not to the severity as in Alberta right now. Even
Right.
though the Canada Healthcare Act is supposed to prevent that from happening, but with the conservatives and liberals in power, they also kind of want it to happen so they're not cracking down on the provinces that are doing it. Anyway, so you have the parliamentary system. So, yeah, there's the four main parties, and the Greens will sometimes be here or there. The
Mhm.
Greens are not necessarily a progressive party. One of their leaders not too long ago was a raging Zionist.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
it depends. So, with the Greens, it really depends on the candidate, on the
Mhm.
person. You can have a wonderful, like here we had provincially. Um, a wonderful Green MPP, so that's member of parliamentary, uh,
Mhm.
uh, member of parliament,
You want
provincial parliament. Ugh.
mint.
Um, and he was wonderful. Unfortunately, he lost his seat because a lot of people here vote based on party name, not so much on individuals, uh,
Right.
which is unfortunate.
So there's basically a lot of name recognition within the parties, even the more supposedly progressive parties like the Greens, even though they're not progressive, they tend to
Some of them can be, though.
rely more on.
That's the thing. Some Green Party members can be very progressive
Mhm.
and ideal to what we want. Others, not so much. Sometimes people will just say they're conservatives who care about the environment,
Mhm.
that sort of thing. So there's all of that. Yeah. And so the way that the parties here are also structured, like it's easier to reinvent the NDP than it would be to start a new party.
Mhm.
And
Like,
that's what,
start, like, a third party.
or a sixth party,
Oh, a sixth party. Oh, wow.
something like that. It'd be easier to just take over the NDP and the infrastructure they have than to just start a new party because, right now I've been watching a lot more UK politics, and they have an advantage
Mhm.
that we do not have here, and that is
Mhm.
land mass. Their land
Mhm.
mass is this big.
So, like, this big? Like,
This big,
mm,
but has this much population, whereas Canada has this much land mass and this much population.
oh, wow.
So in the UK, if you want to go conventions, if you want to meet people, if you want to travel around, all that sort of stuff, you can easily get there. You can
Mhm.
go on the train, you can use transit, you can walk, you can do all these things. But it's not hard to go to different areas of the UK, or like for England, to travel around England
Mhm.
and really talk up your party and things of that sort. Whereas here in
Mm.
Canada, it takes a lot more time and resources. So as a party, they would have to pay and pick and choose where they're going to go, because are you going to go to a city of 10,000 that you have to fly into?
Right.
Um, so
And how's
it's harder, and it's harder for grassroots because again, it's the
mhm,
money, it's the resources, picking and choosing where you go. Um,
mm,
and so also to go to a convention where you would be voting
mhm,
on who the leader is going to be or what the party policies is going to be, if it's not near you, then that
mm,
means you have to take time off work. If it's on the other side of the country, you need the cost of the plane ticket. You need, again, the time off work. It could be up to a week that you have to
oh,
take
wow.
off work if you're going to the other side of the country and wanting to spend a weekend there type thing. Then it's the cost of the
Mhm,
hotel and the cost of actually getting into the convention and all this sort of stuff. And so it makes it a lot more difficult to network, especially to do it in person. In order to get a new party kind of established. Whereas with the NDP, they already have the infrastructure there. It's just a matter of changing it. And the rank and file, like the base of the NDP, desperately wants it. Desperately wants to
right.
have a more socialist person back in power. But because of that issue of like transportability and stuff like that, it's only the people who can afford to go to the convention. Um,
Mhm.
well, I don't know. They might be voting online. Sorry, my earbuds are falling out. I have to put it forward. Oh.
That's happened
They
with the
might be
earbuds.
voting online, which would be better
Mhm,
because then everyone can
yeah,
vote who's already a member. If you just want to vote in this current leadership race and you're not a member, you can't anymore because the cutoff already passed
oh,
for when you
really?
could sign up. Um, but when it comes to like party policy and still, you have to be at the convention, and
Mhm,
so that makes it easier for the wealthiest class within a party to gain a foothold versus the grassroots element of a party to actually
mhm.
maintain its presence.
So has there been, like, someone in the party, in the NDP that has actually actively said, "I want to build the party back from the ground up," meaning I want to take it from, like you said, like, where
Hmm.
it started in terms of, like, reintroducing it or
Hmm.
reviving it, however you wanna say it, as what it was founded on, as a socialist party, and actually being socialist, as
Well,
in the
yeah.
healthcare and transportation, which that's the other curious thing I wanted to ask you. How is the transportation in Canada? I'm sure you have, like, bus like, I take it that it's not great and there's no free, like, buses or even reduced fare buses, which is a
Hmm.
just a monster.
Yeah, and
Um,
again, it makes it harder in this country, especially considering like the land you have to travel if you want to go to different jobs, if you want to visit family and stuff. Um, especially if you're in a remote rural area, it makes it a lot more difficult, and we don't have the
yeah,
infrastructure here. But when it comes to the candidates, the two candidates I've interviewed, so that's Tennille Johnson and, oh God, I'm blanking on his name right now, and I feel really horrible about it, but they're both on my playlist. Unfortunately, neither of them stand a chance of winning.
and they're, like, the
I
alternative in the NDP that actually wanna do something.
I feel bad. I need
Yeah,
to look up his name right now. Uh,
and I'm actually gonna turn on a I don't mean to, like, interrupt, but it is getting kinda dark in here, so I'm actually gonna turn on a
okay.
light, so I'll be right back.
Uh, I'm looking. So I knew Rob Ashton. He's one of the three. So Tennille Johnson's one that I've interviewed. Then there's A.V. Lewis, Heather McPherson. Oh, Tony McQuail. I knew it began with a T. I also interviewed him. Anyway. Uh,
Here we go.
yeah, so it
Much
was
better.
Tony McQuail and Tennille Johnson that I interviewed. And both of them would be on board with like enforcing the Canada Health Care Act and all that sort of stuff.
Mhm,
I haven't been able to interview the other three candidates that stand a much better chance of winning. So you have Rob
mhm,
Ashton, Heather McPherson, and A.V. Lewis. Heather
okay,
McPherson is the only one to currently hold a seat in the House. And you do need that if you want to be productive. Like, you don't have to
right,
have it in order to be leader of the party, but it means that during question period and things of that sort, you can't challenge anyone. You can't go to the House
right,
floor and give a speech and all that sort of stuff. So it really mutes you in a way as to your ability to do things. So If you win leadership but you don't have a seat in the party, then somebody will retire or find a new job
Tire,
opportunity.
yeah,
Kind of like
yeah,
Pierre Poilievre did when he lost his seat in the last election because, the conservatives and their merits. Uh,
yeah,
and
yeah. Once,
he went to a riding that was voted over 80% conservative.
wow,
Yeah.
yeah. Once they retire, they can
Mm.
retire with benefit, meaning that they can just live comfortably. They
Depends
don't
on
have
how
to
long
worry.
they need to be with. They need to have their seat for a certain period of time before they get their pensions and stuff.
Wow.
Um,
And
so
that pension is probably worth, I mean,
oh,
Canadian
I could
currency is different from
comfortably live
American
off of it.
currency, but yeah, it's
Yeah, I could comfortably live off of it. So of the three people who stand the best chance, so you have Heather McPherson, she already has a seat. And
mhm,
then Rob Ashton, who's kind of new to the scene, uh, wants to get that worker union vibe going. He is a worker union person. And then
mhm,
A.V. Lewis, who has tried to run before and is NDP Dynasty, which
mhm.
I'm not necessarily against. Like people will be like, ooh, nepotism, but
Yeah, nepo baby.
I'm not necessarily against nepotism when it comes to a lot of things because, as a child, you tend to get involved with what your parents are doing and you
Yeah,
start learning about it, becoming curious about it. So like if your dad's a dentist, like my current dentist, her father was the dentist at the place that they're at, so she went into dentistry as well because you can develop a passion for it because of the parents and you see what they're doing and stuff. Um,
mhm,
as long as they go through the schooling and are qualified, I don't care so much about nepotism. It's just when it's kind of given to somebody who has no qualifications whatsoever because they happen to be
mhm.
part of the family or something like that. And then that's absolutely
Yeah,
ridiculous. Um,
yeah,
so A.V. Lewis, like his father and grandfather were all part of the NDP, one of the founding members, I believe, as well, like in the founding of the party way back when. Um,
mhm,
of the three of them so far, the only one that I've heard mention something about like we need to redo what the NDP are doing is A.V. Lewis. Um, so at first I was kind of more favoring Rob Ashton with some of the things that he was saying, but more recently I've been leaning more towards A.V. Lewis, but I will not endorse anyone because, yeah, Heather McPherson will be just the status quo NDP, which is not what we need right now.
right.
Um, because and I've seen they've all been interviewed by Rachel Gilmore, a wonderful independent journalist, so people can go to her channel and check it out.
Mhm,
Out all the interviews and stuff like that. And I highly recommend that you do so if you're planning on voting in the NDP leadership, or at least after the leader is declared, go back and watch her interview with whoever wins. Um,
mhm,
and I was not impressed with Heather McPherson and her kind of like, well, we have to tiptoe our way and not everything will be done, blah, blah, blah. We need radical change now
yeah,
because with this whole, like, as we do it delicately through it, people with disabilities, people who are living with
mhm,
poverty right now in Canada are suffering, and a lot of them won't make it to the next election
yes,
because of the dire circumstances that we are in. And to hear a leader be like, well, shucks darn, we just have to do time. We just have to give it time and we have to ease into it. That's no, we want bold, progressive, unabashedly progressive ideals right now. Because I did
mhm,
interview somebody else who was rejected as a candidate for the NDP, who has his issues, no doubt about it. Yves
mhm,
Angler, he has issues. Not
mhm,
arguing that. But like when I interviewed him, he said like uh expropriation of property. I'm like, yes,
mhm,
yes, do that.
yeah,
We have a housing crisis here. Like
mhm,
it has to be like that. You have to leapfrog and go for the most like in my leftist mind, this is the bare minimum of what we need, but to the rest of the world, it seems very extreme. But yeah, we need socialized housing. We need a
mhm,
universal basic income, but one that um, isn't just a money transfer to the wealthy. So it has to be incorporated in with things like healthcare,
mhm,
also housing and stuff like that. So it's not like the capitalist class can just raise prices on everyone now that they know that there's the money coming in. Like there has to be rent freezes, but socialized housing
Yeah.
across the board. 80% of our housing should be socialized.
Yeah.
Socialized
Same
grocery
thing in
markets. Yeah.
yeah.
Socialized like the grocery stores, nationalized grocery store chains and all that sort of transportation, everything. And then a universal basic income that is tied to the cost of living in the area that you're in. Because, if you live in Toronto versus, Grand Prairie, it's going to be a different expense as to how much rent is and
Yeah.
things of that sort. So it has to be tied to the cost of living in the area that you're in. And also if you have extra needs, like medical wise, if you need rehabilitation, therapy, medical devices, mobility devices, all that sort of stuff, then that also has to be incorporated in. Basically, all of our basic needs should be covered by the government. And there's absolutely no
Mhm.
excuse as to why it isn't, because we
Right.
have the money. This country
Exactly.
is
Yeah.
wealthy enough to do that, to
To
have
per
everyone survive and thrive.
they can't afford to redistribute wealth to
Hmm.
the lower.
Hmm.
I wanna say lower class. I don't wanna put that in a bad term, but if you get what
Hmm.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
Um, so you mentioned, because I haven't heard this name in a while, and I know I, don't know what his popularity is in the years since, but, how's Jagmeet Singh doing?
Who?
The what he
I know what you're saying. That's pretty much people's reaction now. He's just fluttered off.
Oh,
Um,
really?
yeah, as any good person who got into politics because they want to make substantial change does.
I guess that's just politics for you.
Yeah, it's like Chrystia Freeland, who used to be a minister in the Justin Trudeau cabinet, who ran for leadership at the Liberal Party and stuff like that. She's fucking off now because she lost.
Oh.
She realized that she'll never get to that leadership position that she wanted. She'll never be prime minister here. So
Hmm.
she's fled and has gone to Ukraine. Which, if you
Oh,
know anything about her family history, it's not the good, like it's good
it's not
support,
the
but
good thing.
she comes from a pretty bad history.
Bad yeah, bad history, bad family history, yeah, I get
Yeah.
that.
But again, the sins of the father does not go on the child, but she also did nothing to remove herself of that. Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Um,
How's the media covering all this? I mean, all I can re the
mhm,
only 2 media outlets I can think of is CBC and CTV. If
mhm.
I there's anything else that any
And
other
most of them
media
are the
out
Associated Press. Uh,
yeah.
so most of our media corporations are owned by Americans.
Really? So there's, like, Canadians that are not owned in Canada, like, Canadian,
A
like,
lot. That's why
media
the
that's not owned in Canada?
That's why the
Wow.
conservatives want to defund the CBC. So the CBC is the government funded, not government run, but government funded media corporation. And so that's always been the case. They're loyal to the establishment. They're not loyal to a government. Um,
Right.
so the CBC tends to be loyal to the status quo. Like there's definitely been censoring when it comes to what's happening in Gaza and the
Mhm.
use of the word genocide and things of that sort. The
Yeah.
CBC is not great, but it is also very important. And I do believe that we should have it, that it should be strengthened, because when it's funded by the government, it can do things like the independent investigations, send journalists overseas and stuff. It has the money for that. Whereas in this day and age, it's really hard to come up with the funds to be an independent investigative journalist. And so it
Mhm.
has um, that infrastructure there. Like it is biased, it's not perfect, but it is pretty good. And that's why the conservatives want to defund it, because a lot of our media is owned by, a lot of the corporations that own American media. Um,
Mm.
Not all of it, of course.
Cross-continental. Yeah.
Yeah, not all of it, of course, but a lot of it. And so there's a list that goes around every now and then. I'm pretty sure I have it saved somewhere, where it's like if you're listening to like the National Post, the Toronto Sun, and things like that, like if it's a right
Mhm.
wing rag, then chances are it's owned by Americans.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Like the Murdochs,
mhm,
the
yeah,
same way with the Murdochs and the
hmm,
whoever else runs the New York
yeah.
Post.
So our media is better than the United States, but it's not great, uh,
It's what
because
you have to live with,
yeah,
unfortunately.
it's they do. I've seen a lot of journalists from like CTV, the CBC, different programs and things like that. ask challenging questions of leaders and things of that sort,
Mhm.
but they are still pretty much establishment biased.
Yeah.
They're not going to have people on who are on the extreme left, but they will have people on who are on the extreme right.
So that's what they call it in Canada, the extreme left? They don't we call it the far left
Well,
far
yeah, it's the
left.
same thing. It's the same
Here,
thing.
same thing, yeah, just
Mhm.
different phrasing.
Oh, no,
I
we
see
would
the
say far left. We say I'm just using
oh,
that term because, like, no
oh,
particular
yeah,
reason.
yeah,
But we say far left, far right too. It's when
yeah.
it comes to a lot of jargon, even around politics and stuff like that, there's not that much difference between the United States and Canada when it comes to culture because the amount of culture that we get from the United States when it comes to like media, TV, movies, all that sort of stuff, it's all the same. Um,
Mhm.
and a lot of your right wing influencers are Canadians.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, unfortunately. And there's a ton of them on platforms like this, on Twitch, on
Mhm.
Kick, on everywhere, you name it.
Yeah. So it's there's a lot of crossover when it comes to culture dynamics, what's going on, the threats within our government and stuff. So in Canada, we're kind of in the middle of the shit show that's going on in the UK and the, hellstorm in the United States. We're like the
Mhm.
shit storm, I guess you could say.
The shit
Uh,
hailstorm
the shit
across Canada.
hailstorm. Uh, because in the UK, they have their Keir Starmer leader of
Yeah,
the Labour Party
Labour
who did a
leader
complete 180 as soon as he was in power. And I've said that Mark Carney is the better looking identical twin of Keir Starmer
to Starmer, yeah.
because he's done the exact same thing. And so anything that we see happening in the UK will probably happen here. When it comes to
Mhm.
crackdown on freedom of speech and stuff of that sort, there are laws that the liberal government is trying to push through that would do this thing, be more anti-immigrant, things of that sort. But then the fascism and the right-wing agenda that you see in the United States is also coming up here in the way of our conservative party wanting to push
Right.
that agenda. So we have the liberals wanting to push the labor agenda, and we have the conservative wanting to push
Wanting to
the
push the
right-wing
conserv
Republican agenda.
And so when the conservatives are pushing that agenda from up here, is that coming in the form of Doug Ford? Because like I go to him because he's like the big
Mhm.
name, or is it coming from someone under him, below
Well,
him,
the federal
or just
conservative leader, Pierre Poilievre, it's coming straight from him.
Polyev?
And so the provinces, the premiers of the provinces, so you have like Danielle Smith and Doug Ford, who are conservative, who are absolutely pushing that right wing agenda. They just don't.
Mhm.
Well, in Ontario, Doug Ford doesn't be so on the nose when it comes to like racism and transphobia and homophobia. In Alberta, Danielle Smith is an absolute transphobe, and she's passed
Right.
legislation that has made Alberta one of the unsafest places to live in North America.
And you're talking Hannah, Alberta, right?
Hmm?
Like it's very is it Hannah, Alberta, or just Alberta?
Alberta.
I'm thinking of something different.
Mhm.
Um, and so you talk about like censorship. Are they doing to TikTok and other platforms the same way they're doing it up here in America,
There's
where they're
been.
just basically censoring like Canadian
Mhm.
content creators that are pro Palestine, pro,
Mhm.
that are supportive of Gaza? That's still going on. That's going on there too.
Mhm. There's attempts to silence the speech of people here. So up in Canada, we don't have free speech. We have freedom of expression, but we do have a lot of free speech that they are trying to
Mhm,
infringe on, and they are trying to
mhm.
restrict and narrow down through laws like, oh, you're not allowed to protest outside of these places. The synagogues that like to have auctions for stolen land type thing. Um, banning certain, like in Alberta, banning books, things of that sort. So they are trying to crack down on our freedom of speech and how we protest and things of that sort. The cops will crack down on pro-Palestinian protesters, but when it comes to right-wing protesters,
They
it's
do
like,
not.
oh yeah, no, I don't see them, doing all these horrid things and breaking the law right in front of us. So there's the subtle ways that they do it, but we have like the same military state, like the crackdowns, police violence, and things of that sort that you see in the United States. It's again not as bad, but it's not good because if you look at comparable countries, the United States has the most police shootings.
Yeah, that
Can't
is true.
Canada has the second. So it's like there's a
Yeah.
big margin there, but still.
Yeah.
Um, uh,
So is is there more like crack that kind of reminds me like I watched Michael Moore's Bowling for Columbine.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen that documentary?
Oh, a long time ago.
Long, long time. Yeah, it's been a long time for me. But I watched it more recently where he went to Canada and I have to rewatch the film just to remember. But like I think that Canada at that time, this is 2002, so we're
Mm-hmm.
15 years have passed, so a lot has changed since then. Um, where like the gun control, like you have like things like rational gun control in
Mm-hmm.
Canada that's easily passed that we try in United States and literally our politicians turn their noses up at it. Like our gun murder rate is like so high in the United States. Like you look at the number rates in the United States and they are just through the roof. And um yeah.
So the thing that's changed the most over that time is the rhetoric. So there is that fear mongering coming from the right wing again about, crime is exploding and it's so dangerous up here now and all this sort of stuff. And they're trying to pass laws for things we already have laws for. So one of the big things
Mhm.
that the conservatives are going to be trying to use as a talking point these days is the castle law or whatever, stand your
Mhm.
ground type thing. And they want to push
Yeah.
it here because they're like, you should have a right to defend your home. And here's the thing, in Canada, you do. You do. You can even use lethal force to do it. It's just you're not allowed to default murder someone if they come into your home. Um, so the response that a person has in defense has to be proportionate to the threat. And a lot of people will be like, oh, in the heat of the moment and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yes, the courts take this into consideration too. Like if I hit
Mhm.
someone over the head with a baseball bat and they die, but they were threatening me, like they broke into my place, they were threatening me with a weapon or something of that sort, then I'm not going to get charged even though
Mhm.
that person I used lethal force. But if I hit somebody over the head with a baseball bat, and even if they had a knife, but they go down and they're unconscious, and then I continue to bash them over the head until they're dead, that's illegal. That would then be when the
Use of
tables are
lethal
turned.
force.
So you're not allowed to just default murder people when they come into
Mhm.
your home, and so you have to assess if it is a threat. And again, I get it. Heat of the moment, you're scared, all that sort of stuff. And again, courts take this into consideration. But if you have somebody just stumble home drunk and accidentally go into your place, you don't get to murder them. Like that's the
Mhm.
thing. And so right now, the right wing is trying to say that we're not allowed to defend ourselves, apparently, because they basically want it so that you can just kill anyone who comes onto your property. And in the United States, if you look at it, there's lots of innocent people who have died because of that. Um,
Mhm.
Not to mention a lot of people who are maybe just desperate, breaking into a home so that they can get something to help with their addiction or help to get by, things of that sort. Nobody that was ever physically threatening. They just wanted to damage
Mhm.
property or something like that. Well, you can't
Right.
rehabilitate them if they're dead. You know,
Right. That
it's
yeah, obviously.
so there's things like that. Then there's also a court case came down recently where it banned, oh, what's the term for a set time from a judge? Mandatory minimum, yeah. So they
Mhm.
struck down mandatory minimum for sex offenders. And the right wing is like, oh, this is horrible, they're pro sex offender and stuff like that. And it's like, again, the courts are taking into consideration the nuance. So if there are two 18-year-old boys, and one of them has a girlfriend that is, 16 or 17, and she sends one of them or her boyfriend her nudes, and then the boyfriend shares it with his friend. Um, and his friend is like not even doing anything with it or anything like that. Does he then deserve to be labeled as a sexual predator and put behind bars for a mandatory minimum sentence and things of that sort? So there are some nuanced things that they try to look for, like what was the intent of the person? Um, are they likely to reoffend? Like all that sort of stuff, as opposed to just blanket statement saying everyone has to be locked away and the key thrown away.
Wow. That's
And
a lot
so
of heavy stuff.
yeah, so right now the conservatives are making a big deal about that, but the courts ruled like since there can be plausibly reasons why somebody shouldn't get the mandatory minimum, we can't, keep it type thing. Um, but that said, they're still going to crack down on the bad offenders, the ones that are
Yeah.
likely to harm and things of that. They can get the full sentence. Like it's not saying don't send them to jail. A lot of them will still be sent to jail for the
Yeah.
maximum, and the maximum nowhere near high enough because they like to use this as the example. But in Canada, the same as the United States, sex offenders rarely get the justice.
Yeah.
We rarely get justice for what they do. Um, they're rarely ever sent to prison for as long as they should. They're never rehabilitated, all of that. And a lot of the cases, of course, never even make it to court because of deals or the police just saying, yeah, this wasn't, it was, there's a term for it, um, where they dismiss it. To
Mhm.
begin with, there's a term for it. God damn it, I can't remember it. So, the our enforcement has issues, but I'm a fan of restorative justice, so I don't believe in just locking people up and traumatizing them even more once they're behind bars. So then when they come out, they're even worse people than when they went in. So that's again, that's a multi-layered, nuanced conversation.
Yeah, it's very heavy stuff.
Mhm.
Very, very heavy stuff.
Mhm.
Um, do you wanna switch maybe to some lighter topics? Uh, as far
Sure. How
as
about that
Canada.
hockey team here in Canada, eh?
Hey, yeah, that's the I wish I knew a little bit more sports in
I don't
Canada. I
know.
mean, I know music.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think I I would say this, that Canada has a lot more, bands and musicians coming there than United States, and I mean, I could tell you my top 5, and you probably have heard of them, so, yeah, let's see, Rain Maida. I think I actually told you this before, uh, when I interviewed you, like, a few
Mm-hmm.
years ago. Rain Maida, Stephen Page, Ed Robertson, and Les Claypool,
I don't
all from
recognize any of
Canada.
those names.
You don't know who Rain Maida is from the band Our Lady Peace?
I've heard of the band.
Oh, he's the lead singer,
Mm.
and
Um,
I mean, he's also a lefty, apparently. Like,
you
I don't know how
see,
left he is.
if you said Dead Mouse, I would know what you're talking about.
Dead Mouse.
I'm into EDM.
Oh, EDM. Oh, well, I need to be more more open-minded in some forms of the music, but
No.
those are the 3, like, 'cause, BNL, Bare Naked Ladies, that's the name of the band.
Mhm.
Uh, they were they got really successful in the
Mhm.
United States in the late '90s, and
I
so
do know of that band.
yeah. Well,
uh,
they've also got some good songs. I mean,
mhm.
their song Brian Wilson and, the song 1 Week, Pinch Me, Brian Wilson, and This Old Apartment are, like, in my
Mhm.
playlist, my top 5
Mhm.
playlist. So they're really good,
Yeah.
and they're good lyricists too.
Well, we have in Canada CanCon, Canadian content, and there are oh fuck, what's the term? There's programs up here to support Canadian artists. The thing
Mhm.
is that even then, that can be a little bit tricky. It's almost like the government saying what our culture is. So we have like the Juno Awards, and in order to win a Juno Award, you pretty much just have to show up, um,
Yeah.
because they pick and choose who qualifies for CanCon.
Yeah, and that's a big, like that's a big thing with me. It's like, why do we have to be so picky and choosy about
Mhm,
who gets to win? A lot more people, especially
mhm,
in the music and arts world, they work really hard.
mhm,
I mean, they work damn hard to get those
mhm.
awards, not just in
Yeah.
Canada, but in the United States as well, and then they get passed over because some what would you call it? Like the government, as you say, but also
Mhm,
some executive at
mhm.
at at a committee says, "No, this person's better."
Yeah, and
And it's
we also run into the problem
very
where
sus.
the government tries to use different performers as tokens to show
Mhm.
how inclusive and progressive Canada is. So they'll promote like an Indigenous singer, which, is good. No
Yeah.
doubt about it. But what are the policies that they're passing that would actually help Indigenous folks?
Yeah.
Where's that clean water for them?
Yeah.
So they like to tokenize minorities and other types of groups of people to basically put out to the world like, oh, we're so progressive and great and inclusive here in Canada. But behind the scenes, the policies don't match it. Um,
Yeah. That's a shame.
mhm.
That's a total shame. I asked Lance from the Surfs, who's a fellow Canadian. This was years
He's
back.
from Vancouver. That hardly counts. No, just
Oh,
kidding.
really?
I'm
I
joking.
thought
I'm
he was from
joking.
Canada. Oh, I was
Of
gonna
course he
say.
is. Of course he is.
Well, I asked him,
Mhm,
and not in person, but like in
mhm,
the Leftist Mafia chat, like maybe 3 years ago, because he was in Mike Figueredo's chat, and I asked him. I said, like, what do you think about Our Lady, the band Our Lady Peace?
mhm.
And he's like, oh, I have a soft spot for OLP. So it's like, oh, well, he knows him.
Ontario Liberal Party? What?
No.
No. I know the band Our Lady Peace. I would probably recognize some of their songs. I probably like some of their songs, but it's not the genre of music I tend to listen to.
Right. Well, it's
Mhm,
like early 90s
mhm,
alternative rock music.
mhm.
And a lot of the reason why I didn't even know they were Canadian until like 10 years ago.
Ah, those sneaky
Um,
Canadians. The sneaky
yeah,
secret Canadians.
but there's nothing bad, there's nothing
Mhm,
wrong with that.
mhm,
I actually like that. But, uh, yeah, like, a lot of their songs were
mhm,
successful, like, on MTV and, like, alternative radio in the '90s.
mhm.
Um
Well, so part of the CanCon thing up here in Canada is that like on our radio and television and stuff like that, a certain
Mhm,
amount of what is broadcasted has to be Canadian content.
mhm, strictly Canadian.
Yeah. So there's lots of international, lots of American stuff, but a certain percentage has to be CanCon, has to fall
Mhm.
into the Canadian content quota. So we do tend to, you know, keep a little bit more of our performers that way. I don't even want to say culture because we barely have a culture here. Um,
Yeah.
so that's how we get exposure to more Canadian singers and programs and things of that sort is because of the CanCom requirements.
Mhm. Well, does that I guess, does that dampen sort of the spirit of CanCon, do you think? Or, uh
Like generally speaking, I'm not against it. I think it's a good thing to promote them. Again, it's just they're very picky and choosy as to who they promote
yeah,
and who gets to get in the in type thing.
yeah,
The in group when it comes to this sort of thing. And it's hard to break through that barrier if you're maybe a little political on the left. Uh,
yeah, yeah,
so it's kind of like the government will dictate this is what qualifies as CanCon. This is what we want out there projected to the world as our culture, our brand.
yeah, and I think it's maybe also a lot of the promoters at CanCon or if you are political on the and socially on the left, they don't want that. They want it to be, like, apolitical, and pretty much, if not all of the artists and the musicians and the bands that are at CanCon, like 99, like if I'm wrong, happily correct me, but like aren't 99.999% of them like politically and socially left because they're all like young artists and they care about social issues like trans rights and supporting Gaza
Um,
and uh
I know
and the
on
minority.
I believe on a whole it's more progressive up here. Maybe not so much anymore, or it used to be anyway. I'm trying to think if this bands would get more pushback or something. Yeah, I don't know that off the top of my head how much more left-leaning our artists might be. Um,
Mhm.
I can't
That's fine.
think of like a
That's fine.
right-wing rap band here in Canada right now, but we have Drake.
Well, actually, I will say,
Mhm,
and I know he's kind of controversial, but Drake was on the artist for a ceasefire list
mhm,
to tell then President Biden to have a ceasefire
mhm.
at Gaza. So I know there was that whole dust up with, like, Drake and Kendrick Lamar, which I don't wanna get into,
I don't
but
know enough to get into.
yeah, that's
Mhm,
that's like Dan's thing. I actually have to
mhm,
have Dan, Dan Evans, Dan from the internet, like, tell me more about that whole rivalry thing. But Drake was on, his name was on Artist for a Ceasefire,
mhm.
so he's based
Yeah,
for now,
yeah,
right now.
yeah, like I said, I don't know off the top of my head where the leanings of different, artists are, because yeah, I have a hard time with, like, names, remembering names of things, and so
Mhm.
even names of songs that I love, I don't necessarily know the name of, but I could sing the song for you in absolute perfect pitch and everything.
You
Um,
don't have to right now if you don't
mhm.
want to. You don't have to.
Well, there's not too many Dead Mouse songs I can sing. Um,
Well, now that you're mentioning it, I'm gonna have to look him up afterwards.
I don't, and that's the thing, like, I don't know anything of his political leanings or anything, just that he's made some EDM songs that I like. Uh,
Mhm.
so yeah, I have a hard time. Like, I love music, I love listening to music, but I can't tell you the nuance of music as to,
Mhm.
I can say some of my favorite EDM artists are like Ferry Corstein, Armin van Buuren, and whatnot. But beyond that, I would have a hard time naming them. But then I'd be like, if I listen to a whole bunch of songs, I'd be like, I really like these songs, and they're also from the same artist, but I just don't know the name.
Mhm. Yeah. It's like my favorite. Like I'm also like a fan of this one broadcaster from Canada. You probably know him, George Strombo. Speaking of he worked at CBC. He's like
Sure.
he's part of like the straight edge
Hmm.
punk movement. Uh Nothing wrong with that.
Hmm.
I mean, I did my research on him, and
Hmm.
we get we used to get his channel or his show distributed from CBC to United States, like, way back in, like, the mid 2000s, and I like this his interview style,
Hmm.
honestly. I know,
Yeah.
like, all I know is that I don't know his politics in
Hmm.
general. All I know is that he's from the punk, like, straight edge
Hmm.
movement, but
Yeah.
yeah.
No, a lot of our journalists do a better job of interviews and stuff of that sort, even though still some of them are very extremely biased in
Yeah.
how they ask questions and whatnot. But that's the way of Strombolopolis.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's
Don
more the Wild West is
Don
saying that
James
in the
said, "Just
SandBox.
remember Justin
Hmm.
Bieber."
Yeah.
Thanks, Don.
Hmm.
Oh, how are you, by the way?
Ah, all right.
Is Celine
Yeah.
Dion as well. I
Yeah.
forgot
Well,
she's
of course, Celine
Canadian.
Dion. Yeah. No, and Brian Adams was also mentioned. Sorry,
Mm,
sorry to the SandBox. I tend not to pay that much attention to the SandBox when I have a guest on because it's hard for me to split focus like that. But I'll just quickly
mhm,
glance in to see what people are saying because we have lots of people jumped in, like Groove Dragon and Scouts Taken have also jumped in. MIDI Doctors, hello. Um, and yes, Donald James and a whole bunch of other people have jumped in. So welcome everyone to the SandBox. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Plus, I have my new YouTube channel that I haven't done any content for yet, other than the
Oh,
first
I have a
video.
second channel too, actually.
Mhm.
I just started doing, movie reviews.
Oh,
You
nice.
so look up Honest Film Reviews or Honest Film Review, HFR with a exclamation point on YouTube.
Well, you can send me the link and I'll add it to this description later on.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
later on is far better.
yeah. I have
Um,
a YouTube channel about my art called Get This, Sandy
oh,
Lovis.
that's a good title.
Yeah, it
I
took me
like
a while to come up with that one.
Yeah, I think for me, it just clicked what
Mhm.
film review channel I wanted to do, because I wanted to make it different. I wanted to differentiate from a lot of the other, uh, film review channels that are out there.
Yeah,
But,
so I'm just
well,
people talking about Canadian bands and whatnot.
Donald James says he'll start suggesting movies to me. That is actually, that's a great idea because I am here's the thing, I have 2 film reviews up, and I have a 3rd one, but I need to also, uh, I also need to set a time to do it. I mean, I've been,
Mhm.
as I said, I've been going back to school in the university, so I need to set a time to do that.
Mm,
So just keep a lookout uh, for Sandy and in the chat as well.
yeah. Oh, hello, Dan Steely, Looney Tunes, and Real John Litham. Welcome everyone to the
Hey, what's
SandBox.
up? I
Yeah.
know all these folks.
Mm.
They know who I am.
Do you know what would be interesting for a film review? Uh,
Tell me.
a comparison of movies on the same subject but from different countries.
Not bad. Actually, yeah. Um,
Like I'm trying to think of a Canadian movie that might contrast an American
an
movie or
American
something.
film.
Yeah. Or just like how a Canadian movie handles a certain topic versus an American movie.
Mhm. Like maybe like
Mhm.
a feature film or
Mhm.
even a documentary.
Yeah, and also look what they're doing in China because I
Mm.
was mentioning it before that here in the United States,
Here in Canada
it's always
and the
the
United States.
villains are like the Middle Easterns and stuff like that, and like, oh no, they're here to take over the world and all that sort of stuff. Um, but I would imagine in China, the villains might be Americans
Yeah. Well,
regularly. So it'd be interesting to
there's some
see.
truth to that.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of
There's some
truth to
truth
it.
to that.
Um,
There's a lot, yeah.
so it'd be interesting to see like different cultures on who they pick to be their villains.
I mean,
Like the.
the villain in for the United States is the rating system.
Mhm,
The movie rating system is just so
yeah.
biased. I mean, you make a film and then you show it to the MPAA, which is the Motion Picture Association of America, and then you have to cut out like 4/5 of it, or maybe even more than that, because you got to show less blood or less violence or
Mhm,
whatever the hell they don't like. And it's just it's disgraceful. It's like people's works of art that they've slaved over.
mhm,
They've spent a lot of money on, and very often little money, and then only for a ratings board of corporate executives to be like, nope, you got to cut this out, that out, this, that, this, and this out. And it's
mhm.
just what, what the hell?
Well,
It's not even that bad.
I like how there is at least a platform out there for people, just upload their movie to YouTube or something so
Mm.
that their full art can at least still get out there. Um,
And that's what Gavin did. Well,
mhm,
he released the first no clip on DVD and Blu-ray. Uh, and he and Zach did a documentary of like a Twin Peaks style documentary,
mhm,
and that's uploaded to YouTube. So if you haven't seen it,
mhm.
go check it out. It's really good.
Well,
I got to see it
it's
first bit of it.
yeah, like it's harder to get noticed, but at least your stuff gets out there. It's the same like with writing, because
Mhm,
you know, I can't get my book officially published, but I could publish it on Amazon. So it's
mhm,
still at least out there, and it's the
mm,
way that I want it. Because, if you go through a publisher, the editors will be like, well, you have to cut this, you have to change this doesn't make any sense, remove it, and blah, blah, blah.
mhm.
Whereas it is the way that I want it, the things that I
Yeah.
want left in it are there. But my writing style too is everything that's in the book is actually there for a reason, and when I go through
Yes.
and edit I do actually check to make sure, is this relevant, like is this needed,
Yes.
that sort of thing. And so I don't then want an editor to come by and be like, well, I want you to take out this paragraph, and it's like, no, it's there for a reason.
Reason, yes. Or they'll be asking like an editor, be like, "What does this mean? What does
Hmm.
that mean? What is it?" It's like, and then you have to like sit there for like 5 or 10 minutes, even or maybe
Hmm.
even more, to like to explain what it means. And
Yeah.
it's like, why? And it's just so
Yeah,
frustrating and it's
well,
just so annoying.
the
Like,
editor might
why?
not get the genre, might not get some of the inside quotes or the different levels to it, but the targeted reader base may. So, like in my book, Necroplasm.
Which I admit I haven't bought yet, and I
Mhm.
should have bought it by now, but I'm gonna make a note. I'm gonna make a mental note. I said the next bit of money I'm getting, I'm gonna put some money
Mhm.
aside so I can buy the book on Amazon, because
Mhm.
your book and
Mhm.
Taylor Lorenz's book on paperback, I am
Mhm.
buying. So
Well, a lot of leftists will probably understand some underlying themes in the book, you know? They'll hear
Mhm.
some coded language on things and whatnot. Um, whereas, you know, other people might not pick up on it.
Yeah. And as someone who loves horror, I mean, I'll definitely pick up on it.
It's like I
And,
call it a horror, but to me it's not a horror, it's a fantasy I wish I was living
yeah, well,
in. But it's
it could
graphic.
segue
Yeah.
into yeah,
It's graphic
exactly.
in points and stuff.
But it's good.
Mhm.
But that's good, though.
I
That's
still
great.
I still remember the feedback I got for it when I did the beta reading aspect of it. And the person said that the book was unreadable. They didn't finish reading it and didn't tell me where they stopped.
Yeah. That
And since then, I've had people who have read the book and they really like it. So,
that's because they take time to read it. They
mhm,
actually pay attention. They
mhm,
hear and they see, and they're
mhm.
like, "We like this. This
Well,
is what we need
if
more.
the
We need
reader
more people."
was a cis white man who would get offended at the bear v man discourse, they'll probably hate my book.
As a cis white man, I will tell you that I already know that when I read this and I'm gonna get it. I promise you, Sandy. I will get it and I will read it and I know that I will enjoy it.
Yeah.
I will enjoy it. I know that it doesn't I hope it sounds convincing.
Well, hopefully you will. But yeah, I love living in the world of this vampire book. I can't wait to get back to it. I just need to get the goddamn stupid TYTSC done.
How is that going?
Well, everything was kind of put on hold over the past couple months because of Frodo, my cat
Oh,
who became ill and passed away a few weeks ago. That wrecked me, and it still is. So I don't want to talk
yeah.
about it too much because I get emotional.
No, no, not at all. You don't.
Because I was started to get back doing good work on it, and then Charlie Kirk got murdered, and so I had to do a video about that. And then Frodo's health started to decline, and that became my focus
Mhm.
for a
Yeah.
couple months. And so I'm hoping that starting next week, I can get like really back into it. It's just, it's overwhelming the amount of
Yeah,
information.
and it's just they keep pivoting and going down this rabbit hole.
Yeah,
What's up?
I'll feel like, okay, so I have the Tucker Carlson segment all said and done, and then Anna Kasparian says something. I'm like, God damn
She's like,
it.
"Oh, I've apologized. I didn't mean to,"
Mhm,
like, she did that,
mhm.
Silly and Billy covered it,
Yeah,
Diamond's
yeah.
Eye,
And so then I'm
and
like, okay, so here are more things that I have to clip and add and stuff because it's relevant. And, you know, like, I think at the end, though, you're going to have quite the journey because I'm pulling from clips from all over the place and you'll
mhm,
really see a progression. Like,
yeah,
that's the thing. You will really see the progression of former people that they used to be friendly with
friends with, yeah.
versus people that used to be enemies. Like, I have found some fantastic fucking quotes because
Oh, yeah.
it's just,
Anna, especially Anna decided to have I mean, not religious at all, but have like a come to Jesus moment and be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, Aaron Mate, from the Gray Zone. I didn't mean to call you a Russian asset years ago." And he like I was like, "Oh God, are
mhm,
you kidding? This is I am actually so glad that that people are actually common sense, logical people on the left
mhm.
are turning away from TYT in droves.
Yeah.
I wish more people would do that because
Well,
they keep pivot. They just keep
yeah.
pissing people off.
Maybe if people watch my video. You see, my biggest
Yeah,
fear right now is like not even 1,000 people will watch the videos. And I
and
say videos because it's going to be more than
yeah,
one.
because you've got. I mean, you've already got like a dare I say a treasure trove of videos like you and Bonnie and Bonnie Carollo and Hank and Jeff Wiggins and Dan and Pastor Ben and Mayor Mondale and everybody who was in the moderators
Mhm,
who was in that orbit for 2.5 years at least, maybe three. A lot. Who's counting? Have all this stuff about TYT uh eventually exposed it for what it truly is and
mhm,
what it's become. People are still watching TY. You would think that
mhm.
everything that happened, people would just drive away. People would just say,
Well,
"Fuck
it's
this."
just a lot of people aren't seeing the videos. They're not
Yeah.
the information isn't getting out there in the algorithms and stuff because a lot of the people who already watch the takedown videos of TYT are already people who have stopped watching TYT.
Mhm.
So it's trying to break through, like part of the goal of my videos is to break through to the audience of TYT to be like, why are you still
Mhm.
watching? Uh,
Yeah.
and not like in a mean or condescending way. It's like,
Just
here's
asking
some
curiosity.
information. Here's some information being presented.
Yeah.
Information
Yeah.
they might not be privy to because if all they do is watch the main show, they won't know a lot of this other
What
stuff
goes, yeah, on behind the scenes.
or just what they say on other shows. On
Mhm.
other shows, they'll say very different things than they say on the main show.
Oh, yeah, and outside of it
Mhm.
too,
Mhm.
outside of TY. Like, Anna in particular has been
Mhm. And just
vocal about that.
yeah, and just the way that their views have changed and stuff because they constantly say like Jank will constantly say like, "Oh, I've been consistent on this for all these years and blah blah blah." And it's like, "No, he hasn't." Um and just like their views on police and things of that sort. But the
Yeah,
problem is that mixed in there are reasonable takes. So how do you distinguish the reasonable takes from the outrageous takes?
yeah. It's like you have to take apart the
Mhm.
Twix bar
Mhm.
or whatever.
Yeah, so my video will be diving into a lot of that. So I have like the first video kind of scripted out
Mhm,
because it's being done in kind of segments. Like the first one isn't, it's more about the audience and an
mhm,
incident that happened on Twitter with
mhm.
Dan Evans and how a lot of people might attack the audience of TYT and how we need to be more sympathetic and compassionate to them because they're basically victims of scams and we do
Yeah,
want to bring them over to our side. But then the comment that the person that was under fire said to me in DMs was they don't like when anyone is attacked or made fun of or all this sort of stuff. And I'm like, so my thought is, then why are you still supporting Jake and Anna?
yeah.
Because the amount of lying and everything that they've done and the attacks that they've done. Um, and so this will put in extraordinarily stark reality uh, how they've changed on certain subjects, what they say behind scenes, the fact that they
Mhm.
don't do their research,
Right, yeah,
the fact that
that's
they will
important.
lie, like flat
Mhm.
out lie.
Yep, yep, very much
And
so.
And if they prove to be untrustworthy sources when it comes to, this litany of issues, then how can you trust them on anything else? How can you trust them to be
Mhm.
sincere with what they believe?
How can you trust them and at
Hmm.
all,
Hmm.
period?
Yeah.
And
So,
I think I may have
yeah.
an idea whom you're
Yeah.
talking about.
Well,
I
I'm
won't
going to
say who they
be,
are.
yeah, I'm going to be censoring their name because it happened so long ago and I don't want a lot of heat put on them.
Right,
The tweets will
exactly.
still be visible, but the name will be blacked out
Mhm,
because the person is a good person, you know,
mhm.
that was under fire from Dan. But like I was trying to think, like, can I absolutely just remove it? And it's like I can't because of the way that Jank and Anna attacked Dan over what he
Yeah,
did and lied again, just flat out lied about what Dan had said.
mhm.
So it's hard for me to completely cut that element out. Um,
Yeah.
so it will still be in there, just censored, so that I'm not revealing the person's name. I don't even know how active they are on Twitter anymore. Uh, so, but
Oh, Miss Blue.
at the time, I did get their consent to,
Yeah.
like, I let them know that I was doing this video. Granted, that was like a year ago that I said that, but
Yeah.
at the
Yeah.
time I got it, and some messages that they wanted me to, that I've included, like the
Right.
message about how they don't like seeing anyone attacked.
Right. Um, so you were at T I mean, we've gone over this 1,000 times, but you were at TYT for, like, 2 years? 3 years? See, I should think in years, but it's like
Months.
on
uh,
month
I think a little over 6 months,
6
8 months.
months.
Yeah, 8 months maybe.
I mean, you've basically explained, like, what happened
Hmm.
and how you went on the main show and actually called
Mm,
Cenk out. Or was it the main show? No, no, it wasn't the main show. That's a mess up. You went on the conversation and called Cenk out to his face and about the transphobia and the anti-homeless
try
and
to.
stuff.
No, not the
Yeah.
anti-homeless. So after a month of working at Rebel HQ,
Mhm.
Jank and Anna mocked a doctor, a New York doctor, who had sent out a tweet with the reference to birthing people and stuff like that. And they weren't just mocking her for the language being awkward, but they were mocking her for trying.
Mhm.
And even back then, as somebody who's non binary, birthing person sounds awkward.
Yes.
And the reality is, it's new language, nothing is settled on, and nobody even uses that anymore, or even tries to use that other than Jake and Anna, which will be a point in my video. Uh, and
Right.
so, I was a bit miffed about this. And so I said, like, here are some options to like the producers and stuff. Here's some options. I talk to them on the main show, or I do a Rebel HQ video about what they said,
Mhm.
and I didn't quite say it, but I hinted drastically, or I'm going to make my own video and upload it to my own channel
Mhm.
about this one particular issue. And so then I ended up on the conversation with Jank, but you see, back then the conversation was a half hour long, but it was split between two
Yeah.
people. So I only
Mhm.
had like 13 minutes to talk to him.
'Cause it's not that long of a show, or
Yeah.
wasn't the
Yeah.
conversation.
So I only had like 13 minutes. I had never talked to him before. I had never, and the fact that, here I was, like, I was thrilled to talk to him finally, but for it to be
Mhm.
on like a contentious basis, and I'm not a debater or anything of that sort. So we didn't have time to get into a lot of the things that I was hoping to say and whatnot. And then I was thrown off at the beginning because I hadn't clued in that they were assuming we were trying to erase the word woman. And that kind of caught me off guard. It's like,
Mm.
who's trying to erase that word? Like, no one. No one is. We're just trying to add a few, like, the
Yeah.
absolute bare minimum we are asking for people is to add some words to the vocabulary to
At
include us.
start using inclusive language,
Yeah.
which TYT, I'm like 5 or 6 months prior to that, and this comes not from me, but from a friend and former moderator, Adrian Vixen, who on their YouTube channel, when Anna did the, like, "Why I Left the Left"
Mhm.
Substack thing, uh, what, like, 6 months before Anna did her infamous tweet, there was a lot of controversy or on the main show with Cenk and Anna laughing off using inclusive language
Mhm.
for trans,
Yeah.
non-binary, intersex folk, queer folk,
Mhm.
and, like, they were saying, "Well, this is just the left is just going they're just going so far. They're just going too far in their language."
Mhm.
And it's just like, "Shut the fuck up."
Yeah. And
Really.
so the thing is that this happened. I had the conversation with Jank a year before Anna's birthing person tweet.
Mhm.
And so when he tries to claim that we're trying to erase the word and all that sort of bullshit, he knows that's not true because I
Right.
told him to his face that is not true.
Mhm.
Uh, so yeah, it's
They're just making more and more enemies every
mhm,
day.
yeah.
I mean, it's again
So
surprise. I
yeah.
mean, I'm actually looking forward now to the completed
Mhm.
video essay that you do on
Well,
this
there
and or
there's
on,
just
on this and just in
again, there's
general.
just so much that they've said that, only somebody who is as crazy as me can do this, because
Mhm.
neurotypical people don't have the scrambled brain. And like, I kind of mean that because I remember bits of conversation, but I don't have a good time frame for when it happens. So searching for things can be
Yeah.
a pain in the ass sometimes.
Yeah,
But
no doubt about it.
maybe it's my creative brain and why I'm able to write such a good book as Necroplasm, that I can view everything as a whole and then start connecting dots all over the place.
Mhm.
Or like I'll see something and then it's like, wait a sec, I remember them referencing this somewhere else around here. So then I'll start searching for that video and things of that sort. Because they'll say things like Jank has said that, they've hired so many trans contributors.
Mhm.
So many. Who? Who?
Oh, you're talking yeah,
Who?
yeah.
Jank? Who? More than any other network. They've hired more trans contributors than any other network.
They're
Who?
just boasting. They're
Mm.
bragging too much. He's
Well, would it shock you to know I have an audio clip of Anna saying that they didn't even know Bonnie was trans when she started?
that is actually new to me. I'd actually want to
Uh-huh.
maybe you
So
can
they
share that with
didn't
me
hire
offhand.
her as a trans person. They hired her when
Wow.
before
Before
she had
before
started to
transit.
transition. And I do remember her starting to transition when she was doing a Galaxy Brain.
Yeah,
So who have you hired other than me?
Bonnie. Oh, mm,
No, me, because on my audition video, I said I was non-binary.
mhm.
So they didn't knowingly hire Bonnie as a trans person.
Wow.
And would she have had that opportunity if she had already started to transition? So then, who are these other tons of trans contributors that you've hired? I don't recall any other trans contributor to that network.
Gee, yeah. It's yeah.
So,
It's sad. It's
yeah.
sad. It really is. It's embarrassing. It's sad. It's pathetic, and
Hmm.
nothing on our end. I mean, we just gave our heart and soul to that network that we thought could that made a difference, and actually being there again behind closed doors and seeing how they really how they really are. Not just not um to the minority, the marginalized. I don't want to use that word. That sounds too offensive. Um, not to like the minority of group of people that were hired, but also just uh their union practices, or shall
Hmm.
I say anti-union practices. I mean, if anyone in chat, I mean, pretty much everyone knows about Tell the Truth Jank,
Yeah.
so I don't need to like go tell people go watch. I mean, you should. You should go support Hank
Hmm.
Thompson and Tell the Truth Jank and see how they are in their business practice, because they should they owe a lot of people, they owe just basically a huge apology,
Hmm.
uh, you know,
Yeah.
to a lot of people, even though by now we will not accept it.
Yeah. Luckily, there's other people who've been making documentaries on certain things, so I don't have to dive deep into some subjects, and I can just be like, so to
Yeah.
learn more about the unions, like I'll touch on the union issue, but then be like, go
Mhm.
watch Hank's video, or
Yeah.
something like Rashad Ritchie. Cam James made some
Mhm.
videos about that.
Yeah, I did
And
see
then
that.
he did make a video about TYT in general. And I'm not worried about that interfering with mine. They're completely different. And Cam
Yeah.
James also dug up some behind the scenes, like owners of the network or something, and pointed out some stuff about him that I would have never got. So, the more exposés, the better.
Yeah.
And so with those ones, I can just be like, go watch that video instead.
Yeah.
But I have like
Yeah.
still so much to go
Unpack.
over and
Yeah.
unpack. And I know the steps that I'm doing. So right now I'm starting the Sam and Emma, Jake and Anna falling out.
Yeah. And that
So
was a huge falling out.
so it shows like how they used to be together and then
Mhm.
suddenly where it changes, which I know exactly where that is. Um
Yeah.
and then how it's been kind of since. And this is what they were doing to their friends. And then from there it's going to be like, so what about these other right wingers?
So are you in, I mean, I wanted to say, are you in touch with Sam and Emma, or
No,
is it no?
seriously doubt they even remember me. Like Sam's been on my show, but I'm
I think Sam will,
yeah, like Sam's
which
been
is
on my
curious.
show. I made Emma cry once.
I hope not in a bad way.
No,
Okay,
When I
that's
sent
good.
the drawing of Michael, I also sent them all little personal notes. And the note that I sent her, she had just started not too long ago before that. Really got her emotional, but in a good way.
Oh,
And she said that she showed her card to her mom. She said that on the show. It's like, oh, I got your card. I showed it
oh,
to my mom because it was a
oh.
really encouraging thing. But I seriously doubt she remembers who I am, because I had also called in to be like, yeah, Emma started Rebel HQ, and I'm about to start there. Yay! Um, so I have no contact with them at all. Uh,
That's okay.
well, I would like to be their Canadian contributor and actually
Yeah,
get
you
onto the main
should.
show or something. That would be
Yeah,
nice.
you should actually be like, you should be a guest on Majority
Mhm.
Report.
Yeah. Well, more people have been suggesting Rachel Gilmore recently, which, no
Rachel
doubt
Gilmore.
she's an investigative journalist. Like that's a completely different
Oh,
category than what I do. So,
right. But
um, yeah.
I think it'd be cool if both of you and Rachel Gilmore.
Hmm. Yeah.
That's just a suggestion I would make.
Yeah.
Um, what was I gonna ask? Or what was I gonna say actually?
Yeah. I have yet to
Uh,
be on a channel that is bigger than mine.
well, I think you and I are at the same. I mean, we're both low on the totem pole in some respects, so
Hmm.
it's
Yeah.
all good. That's just the way YouTube is.
Yeah. No, I have yet to be invited onto a channel that is bigger than mine.
Yeah.
Which, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it the day that that happens. I'm wondering who's going to be the first to
How's
risk that.
yeah. How's this space going? I think I might have already asked that. Maybe you asked it in
You
off
asked it, I
camera.
think, yeah, before we started. It's going well. They expanded now to Mondays.
Yeah, I saw that.
Hmm.
I mean, I've been watching on privately. I mean, I'm
Hmm.
also a mod
Hmm.
on the channel, but during like my breaks in the unit in my classes, I've been kind of watching the show, like the live stuff and the syndicated stuff. And I know you're syndicated on Tuesdays, if I'm
Uh,
correct.
no, I do
Is it
live
Tuesday?
content
No,
on Wednesdays.
Wednesdays, right. Weren't you also syndicated at one point, like in the beginning?
No,
I
I've
must
always
be
been
thinking
live.
of somebody else. Must be thinking of somebody else then. Um,
Leftist Mafia.
Leftist, yeah, it's probably like either Leftist Mafia or Dan
Hmm.
or somebody else. But I know you, Pep. What's her name? I know the channel Raw News and Politics.
Oh, sorry. We have a question from MIDI doctors. This
Oh
space,
sure,
um, wondering what this
it's
space
a
is. So, yeah, this space is a new YouTube channel that is, the goal is to eventually become like a 24/7 network of leftist content. So there's some syndicated stuff, there's some live stuff. I do
live
live
stuff.
stuff. And it's just to be leftist content. It's not necessarily political. It could be movie reviews and things of that sort as well. And so they're starting small. They started off just Tuesdays to Thursdays from like 2 p.m. to midnight, and now they're expanding briefly. And so there's such a variety of different content creators on there
Mhm.
that you can go and see. And Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Eastern is when I generally go on, although the last couple months have been a bit rocky because of Frodo. Um, so yeah, and I go on, and the last Wednesday of each month, I go on as Minuet from Necroplasm. So you get to
Necroplasm.
hear social and political commentary from the perspective of a 1400-year-old vampire, uh, which is fun. And yeah, so you can go check out this space.
Yeah, I
Oh,
think
they're
Don
saying that's not my
James.
question, but that's what you did. You did this space with a question mark, so I answered it.
I know Don James in chat said I should talk to Gavin. Should be able to suggest Sandy. Well, here's the thing. I talked to Gavin. I think
Mhm.
you in our private conversation, you had asked me if I could talk to Gavin to have you go on the Vanguard. That reminds me, I reached out to him like the day of and said, "Hey, there's this content creator on the left named Sandy from Left the Box, called Left of the Box, the channel, and she has a lot of issues or a lot of dish in the dirt on TYT. and that you would be a perfect guest. Uh, so far, there's nothing yet.
It's
And I did my best.
Mhm.
I will say that.
I was
Just to
kinda
tell you, I did my
disappointed
best.
yeah, I was kinda disappointed with Cam James' video because my face showed up in it, but I got no recognition in it. His TYT video,
Mhm.
because my name was not mentioned and I was not linked into it, but my face showed up, uh, when he was talking about people who have left. Yeah, let's just say there are people out there who know I'd be interested in going on their shows. But
Mhm.
it could be just they don't think of it, haven't gotten around to it. Um, I don't want to push it. It is what it
Yeah.
is.
I
Um,
mean, I will say I fingers crossed, I hope that you do eventually go
mhm,
on the Vanguard as a guest
yeah,
because you do deserve to be. Because
mhm,
we're all in the same boat as far
yeah,
as all this TYT drama.
yeah. I
That's
just,
just the point.
yeah, I just don't want anyone being nagged to have me on
Yeah,
because I don't want to go on anyone's
that's
show
fair.
because they've like, fine, I want to go on somebody's show because they actually are interested in talking to me and things of that sort. So,
That's fair.
because
That's
yeah,
fair.
they know I'm interested. But it is what it is. Also, the Vanguard might have new competition soon, or old competition, I should say,
Oh, with Progressive Voice, yeah,
coming
with
back.
Sahi.
Yeah.
Well,
No,
mm,
I'm just
I don't
joking.
thi
I'm joking. There's enough
yeah,
room for everyone. I'm just joking.
I don't
Um,
think so.
mhm.
I think that,
He was the
you know
old guard drama. Actually,
yeah,
I
he
need to
was the
look up a
cool.
clip. I need to look up a clip of him because he had Anna on his show once.
I know which one you're talking about because this was during, like,
Mhm.
the no filter era, and Anna was,
Yeah.
like, fawning over him,
Yeah, because she loved that, online drama discourse and
and I
stuff that
was
he was
like, "It's just
covering.
ironic. It's
Yeah.
ironic now to
Now
think
that
that
she's
she
the focus of
cares."
a lot of that, she doesn't seem to be all that interested anymore, but
No,
I need to go back
no.
and rewatch that and see if I need to clip anything.
I I remember that, and at the time when I saw that Anna was fawning over him, I'm like, he was only I think he was in co I think he's, probably a lot older now,
Mhm,
but at the time, like, 2019, he was still
mhm.
in college, and
Yeah,
I'm thinking to myself, "Anna, he's a child." The
yeah.
way she was fawning over him, I was like,
Mhm,
and that's the problem I have with, um maybe one of them was mentioned. I think I know which one the person you're mentioning in your upcoming video essay. Um, I sort of, I mean, I don't want to be too harsh here, but that's just the thing I had with these two like fanboys who were just obsessed with TYT, like was trying to get Anna to notice them and
mm,
would just defend Anna and defend Jank and defend every aspect of TYD, even when they had bad takes. Um, yeah, it was bad,
mhm,
and yeah,
mhm. Yeah, no,
it's
yeah, but I'll have to go back and watch that old It's interesting because I've only seen a few of, Progressive Voice's videos since, and it seems like
yeah,
he's just been completely out of touch. Like, he completely unplugged, and I don't think he realizes how bad TYT has gotten. Like,
yeah.
he did make a video about it, like, wondering what was Anna thinking, but I think he's been completely unplugged because I actually got into his live chat when I was ending my show, I wanted to raid his,
Hmm.
but I couldn't because you have to set it up on YouTube in order to allow people to raid your channel.
Right, not like
And
on the blue on
yeah,
Twitch.
and he had no idea about any of that and stuff. And so, but I was in his chat during my live
Well,
stream and his live stream, and he actually acknowledged me.
yeah, well, I think a lot of it is just because
Mhm,
he's not been on YouTube for the
yeah,
last couple of
no, I
years,
think
so
he's been
he's
completely unplugged. So it's very
yeah.
interesting to see, what his commentary will be when he starts finding out more of what's going on.
Well, I mean, and this is also in Hank's video, or in like the first part of Hank's documentary, back when the union stuff happened. Sahil had it sounded like he was actually sympathetic to Jank. And this is like
Mhm,
circa 2019, 2020. Like there's a video of Progressive Voice saying like you workers, you all suck. You suck. And why do you want to unionize it? I'm paraphrasing some of it, but
Mhm,
it's out there, trust me. And you can go watch Hank's video, or the
mhm,
first part of Tell the Truth, Frank. It's there too. So I don't know. I
mhm,
is he gonna be if he I just feel like he's gonna be 50-50. He's probably
mhm.
gonna be more sympathetic to like some aspect of TYT, but probably be more critical in
Yeah,
others. And that's just
yeah. It's neither here
it's
nor there.
hard.
Yeah, it's neither here nor
Yeah,
there, but
yeah.
yeah, it's like the biggest thing is I'm just looking forward to getting this TYT video done so that I can move on.
Yeah, it's the same feeling with Hank. He just
Mhm.
wants to get the documentary done. I
'Cause,
I I
ag
feel it.
again, my focus is more Canadian politics, which doesn't exactly do well in the algorithms, I get it. But, that's I wanna talk more Canadian stuff, Canadian issues,
Mhm.
and tying it
Yeah,
in with American issues and UK issues and stuff and
yeah.
how it's related. Because I do try, as Midi Doctors is mentioning that a lot of leftists cover the same stuff. The thing is I'm trying to cover different things. And so quite often on my live streams, I'm not talking about the Epstein files. What is there for
Yeah,
me to say? What is there for me to say that hasn't already been said 10 times over by all
yeah.
the other leftist content creators? Like, there's a lot of things that are going on. It's like, well, what's the point of me commenting on it when it's the same commentary?
I
Like, if there is something that I can add a perspective to by being living with poverty or being non-binary and queer and stuff like that, then I
Mhm.
will do that, or living with a disability.
Right.
And it's a story that's been covered 10 times over. If I can add a new perspective, then I'll do
Yeah.
that. But other than
I
that,
feel
I
like
don't. Hmm?
yeah, I feel like there's also a lot of better people that can talk about the Epstein files, like
Hmm.
Kyle Collins, for example,
Yeah.
or Crystal Ball, Breaking Points. They are equally they are more better to cover that stuff than most.
Yeah. I was
I think
unfortunately.
that's the other yeah, I mean, the other thing
Hmm.
is, like, even in the streams I do, like, I wanna also kinda get out of the political stuff. It's just why I made the video channel, the movie review channel in the first place, because I was like, I don't know, I just want to be apolitical for a while. Like, I make no hiding my political sympathies as you and other people and people in chat know. But there's a side of me that just like, can I talk about this? Because I have this interest other than politics. And not to say that I can't tie that into politics, like what you were saying earlier about like doing a film review that of comparing US and Canada. Um, that's actually comparing a movie
Hmm.
that's either US made or Canadian made. I would love to do something like that. That actually gives me a good, idea, a great idea after I get this misery, movie review down.
Yeah.
Because that's the other thing is like I just want to take a time to watch uh uh the 1990 movie Misery, do a review, do a
Hmm.
letterbox review, do a film review, and then move on and do something else, or
Hmm.
do something else with the channel
Hmm.
because it's brand new. And it's the first Rob Reiner movie I'm reviewing.
Hmm.
Not a bad choice. I mean, there could be better choices.
Yeah.
Like I'm still debating whether or not to review Being Charlie, which is his like 2015 movie that he co-wrote with his son.
Hmm.
And I watched it, watched it before I did the channel, and was like, yeah, this is really a sad case of art imitating life, and
Hmm.
it doesn't age well.
Yeah. Um, I do like movies, but I don't have the money for all the different platforms they're on. So there's a lot of movies I would love to
Yeah,
see that I just haven't been able
y-
to. I used to go out to
yeah,
the theater a lot too, but I can't anymore.
it's expensive. I
Hmm.
get it. It's
Yeah.
very expensive. Do you want to take put some
Uh,
comments on the screen, maybe,
put some
or
comments
maybe
on the
take
screen.
some?
That's so
That's how they.
advanced. I'm not streaming through StreamYards.
Oh well, I just that
Yeah,
leftist
I know,
mafia
I know, I know. We can
thing.
look at comments and read them out loud, but
Right.
I'm streaming through OBS.
Oh, got you.
It just because
I have
it
the
looks
stream icon.
fancier on your screen than it does. And,
Well, my camera's kind of sus because there's a lot of
uh,
static, but um, Also, just curious, is your channel monetizable? Like, can
Yeah,
people send
it's
you super
monetized.
chats?
Yeah,
Oh,
super chats are possible. Yeah.
oh, that's
Um,
cool. I was just curious.
yeah. No, super chats are possible. But only if people can afford it.
Yeah.
I live with
Have you
poverty, so I don't try to I mention it, but I don't be like, so I'm only going to answer questions that people pay for.
Yeah, that's my biggest pet peeve with a lot of leftist content creators. They only take questions when it's
Mhm.
given super chats. Like, can
Or
we
they have a
maybe take some
paywall.
people? Yeah, I mean, I can understand
I
some
get it.
people
No.
why they have to do the paywall, but it's like
Mm-hmm.
still, can you take people that can't give you money? Like,
Mm-hmm.
seriously?
Well, I have a video pinned to the top of my Left of the Box page that explains why nothing of mine will be behind a paywall.
Oh, that's good.
Nothing related to my
That's
channel.
what that's what I've been heartbroken about. I'm probably gonna have to turn on my big light, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
But um I've been really dismayed at some leftist channels that uh are just like, we're not working behind a paywall, and then they go behind a paywall.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'll just throw like Jacobin up there. Like, no, it's like, yeah, you can do some of the writers there
Mm-hmm.
do good work. Like Luke Savage is a fellow Canadian. He does good work, but I don't know. Some people, some people that I used to be fans of there that I thought were good, and
Mm-hmm.
then they pivoted, and it's just like,
Yeah.
or they defended Anna Kasparian, and I'm just like, no, you're not what I thought you were.
Like
Well, you did
something
get it.
like something I will put behind a paywall is when eventually again the TYT video is done and I focus more on this. I'm going to be reading out the entire book, like in different chapters, so each chapter will be its own video. That will be behind a
Mhm,
paywall, but I'll have it, I'll let people know that once the entire thing is done, so then if they want, they can sign up for a month in just a
mhm,
month and get the whole thing and then unsubscribe or whatever. But also, if somebody
mhm.
is like really broke, shoot me an email. I'll send you a link. Like I
Okay, well,
just
that's
I don't want to deny people access to my content because they're broke.
yeah, that's actually really fair. Um, you did get a speaking of, you got a 2, I think that's in pound, that currency. You got a £2 super chat from MIDI Doctors saying, "Gratuitous super chat." I'm actually reading it on my second screen, this where the stream is playing.
Ah,
I'm gonna turn on this light real quick,
yeah.
so I'll be right back.
Well, I'll be scrolling down and I'll get to it in just a second. Uh, Oops, sorry. My cat is making noises he shouldn't be making. As in getting into things he shouldn't be getting into. Okay. I am looking through the comments right now, but I'm trying to just skip over TYT related stuff because we're kind of moved on from that. Um, let's see. Groove Jagan says Emma is also smart as fuck, and I agree.
Yeah. We
Uh,
we we adore Emma Vigland. This is a positive Emma Vigland,
uh,
community.
let's
It's
see.
much better in here now.
Uh,
We could also make this kind of like a Q&A. I don't really get a lot of people asking me questions,
let's see.
and it could be anything. I'm an open book.
So yes, I'm seeing. So there's the £2 gratuitous super chat from MIDI Doctors, and Soul Life just sent in a super chat for $2. My USD 2 is totally the same value as MIDI's 2, which I'm sure the conversion. I'm rich now when you convert it to Canadian dollars. You see, I do have a setup when I'm doing just a solo live stream. I don't have it set up here yet. Where if
Oh,
somebody sends me a super chat, what I'll do, and this is the process I have to go through, I'll do a screen grab, chop it out,
mm.
put it into my Photoshop program, put it in a specific place, make it a little bit bigger, that sort of thing, and then hit another thing on my OBS and it'll show up on screen. But I have
I
to like go through
still
like 4 steps just to show it.
Yeah, yeah, it's like a headache.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still learning the basics of OBS. OBS Studio.
Mhm.
Um, Looney Tunes says I had Environmental Coffee House yesterday, and yeah, John Sandy of Left of the Box has been on my show before. Yeah, I
Mhm.
think you were on Looney's stream a while back.
Yeah. Had to
Um,
go on via my phone.
I know I've had to go on via the laptop. I've had a lot. I've been on a couple of this space shows. I was on Alex from Devil's Advocate production
Mm.
recently before I upgraded to the
Mm.
desktop
Real
or
John
went back to
Litham.
the desktop.
Yeah, Real John Litham. Thank you so much for the 4.99 super chat. I really appreciate
Get a
that.
hype. Get a hype.
Mhm.
Let's see.
Uh, JK is wondering about the Epstein Mandelson Starmer drama. I don't know too much of that. I've watched a couple of Owen Jones videos on it, but I wasn't, it's just
Mhm.
background noise. I don't know that much
Yeah.
information on it. And again,
Um,
I'm not talking about the Epstein stuff too much on my channel because
it's just so much to handle. I mean,
and
there's just so much dump
mhm.
of files that have been released.
And as far as I know, no high profile Canadian politicians have been tied to it yet.
Yeah.
Like apparently Mark
Mainly just
Carney's name is there, but it's in the like articles were shared with his name in it type thing. He
mhm,
wasn't there sending emails or anything. Um,
mhm.
the same way Mehdi Hassan is in it. He's in the Epstein files because somebody shared a YouTube video that Mehdi was in. Um, so as far as I know, there's no high profile Canadian politicians. There were a couple high profile Canadians. Uh, but when you found out who they were, it's like, okay, I couldn't be shocked any less.
Right.
um,
It's kinda like when they had, like, Michael Jackson
mm.
was in the files, but that was, before before the like, the big before, we knew what we knew about Epstein.
Okay, so we have a question from Groove Dragon. And if you want to ask a specific question, just tag me in it and I'll see it easier.
Mhm.
So Groove Dragon is
Er
asking, if you had a magic wand, what one thing would you change?
That's a good question.
I'm too autistic
Um,
for this because I'm like, in what
yeah.
context do you mean? Like, do you mean like in the world, in my life, in this and that?
I mean, if I had a magic wand, I would change mm, I don't know.
If I had a
That's a good
magic wand, I
question.
would get rid of gender roles.
Yeah, I probably would change, maybe if it not necessarily change, but I would get like you said, I'd probably get rid of all the hate and the hypocrisy, all the
Mhm,
ableism
mhm,
that's going on
mhm.
in general.
Yeah.
That's
There
what I would get rid
Yeah,
of.
like that's the thing. There's so much to get rid of. So like my idea is like, okay, if you get rid of gender roles and things like that, then that could abolish the patriarchy. And the patriarchy is a
Yeah,
lot of issues around it. But
and the monarchy.
just things like status and
Yeah,
things like
bling.
that.
Yeah, status, privilege,
Yeah.
uh, wealth.
Like to me, that's a lot of that is tied into the gender roles, which are generally speaking from a white
Yeah,
supremacist
white
perspective and how it
supremacist.
was set up and the patriarchal system and Christo fascism and all that sort of stuff. So um or just
Well,
get rid of greed.
yeah, definitely. Um, Looking at YouTube chat to see if anyone. Let's see. What about? Oh no, that's. I'm just looking chat. It's just looking at the YouTube chat offline or off camera. That's where
Yeah.
where my face is.
Yeah, we're
Just
both
to
looking
see
away from the chat to you
from our
guys.
from our screens.
Yeah, both of
We're
us.
here.
Yeah.
We're paying attention, but we're actually looking to see what
Yeah.
question you may
No,
ask.
it's funny because the direction that we're both looking is actually
Is
the
the
opposite
same.
of where the sandbox is compared to where everyone else is seeing it.
Yeah. Well, my second small computer,
Mhm.
my second small monitor, it should be on the other side.
Yeah.
That's where the sandbox would be.
Yeah.
Or we can just take comments.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't have to give
If you see a
questions.
comment you like, feel free to read it out.
Um,
Hello, Manoop.
hey, Manope. A regular in the TGRS in my stream.
Mini Doctor says that Epstein is the result of patriarchy, and I do believe that to some extent.
Yeah.
And also,
He
nothing is shocking to me in it. Like, the most grotesque things that we've heard from it, nothing
yeah.
surprises me. Like, nothing surprises me. I just,
Yes.
of course, we've seen this throughout history, the patterns of when you have like an elite group that's in charge of like money and power and politics and stuff. Of course, this is always what's happened.
Yeah.
Because again, a lot of it is due to men and the patriarchy and things of that sort, and the drive for
Yeah.
status and power, and wanting to have people below them. And even I said something, okay, just to get real dark for a moment,
Yeah.
regarding this. I said something a few live streams ago where people were saying, like, where are all the victims? And I'm aware enough to know this. I'm like, a lot of them won't be alive.
Yeah.
Because what do you think happens to a victim after they've been trafficked? Do you think they just move on and go on with their life? They get back into the
No.
world? No. A
That
lot of
affects them.
people who are trafficked have their lifespan is a few years from when they start, and
Yeah.
that's it. And
Yes.
and so when the information started coming out of the murders and stuff like that, I couldn't. Again, I'm not surprised. It's heartbreaking and horrifying, but I'm not surprised.
Yeah, and just the
Mhm.
enabling that went on. I mean, it's just so horrifying.
And I'm not surprised like Stephen Hawking's is in it, because yes, people who live with disabilities can also be horrific people. Like, it's just
Same with Chomsky.
Mhm.
I mean, he was someone that the left idolized. I mean, big
Yeah.
strong word there, but broke a lot of hearts. Not surprising.
I was never into him.
Yeah, I mean, it's shameful to think that I have his two of his books on my library. Like,
No, like, I just everyone would talk about like how he's such a great linguist and all this sort of stuff. I could not get through a single interview of his because I found him to be so utterly boring to listen to.
he became a lot.
Mm.
I mean, he became more boring
Mhm.
when he got old. I mean, I'm not trying
And
to
his
sound ageist.
voice was just like mumbly, and I could have a hard time
Yeah,
hearing him and stuff. And also, again, a lot of the things that he was saying, and this goes to a lot of people who've been in this privileged position of like declaring this information. To somebody who lives with poverty and disability, I already know a lot of this shit. I've lived it, you know?
yeah.
I live the experience. I don't need to
You,
be told my
you
reality.
don't. Yeah, you don't need to be. You don't need to read a book about it.
Mhm.
It's like, yeah, it's like it's fine to read about the evils of corporate media that we
And
already know.
capitalism and all this
In
sort of stuff.
capitalism.
But yeah, I
That's what
know.
that's what manufacturing consent was about. But
Mhm.
we've already living this, as you say. We
Yeah.
don't need to know more about it. Um, Soul Life says, "Hear me out. What if Chomsky was purely there for educational or research purposes?"
He wasn't, though.
No.
The email's been leaked that he was giving advice to Epstein on how to help his tarnished image after
Yeah.
he was found guilty. So,
Yep.
anyway,
There's your
um,
answer.
and Midi Doctor says that they've had a few eyebrow raising moments. Like, yeah, I'm horrified by some of the stuff in there. I'm
Yeah.
not surprised. But the Wild West has a question. Who would ideally be prime minister in a perfect Canada?
Mm. You, yeah, exactly.
Uh,
I think
Again, that's
Prime
a bit of a
Minister
tricky
Lola.
question, the Wild West, and you're Canadian, so it's what party would be the perfect party in a perfect Canada? Because again, the
Yeah.
prime minister doesn't have universal power over anything. They
Mhm.
sway the party, they're the figurehead for the party, they can influence the party, but it's still the party that runs the country. Because they have to vote and agree on everything and the policy and stuff like that. And so um, I would say that the original NDP party would be the perfect party for Canada to be in leadership. So
The
whoever,
socialist,
yeah,
yeah.
so whoever was in charge of it way back when, I think would be the ideal prime minister. And hello, Mumi from Nova Scotia.
Oh, but then again, you would be a very great prime minister of Canada. You would actually you would strip it down and build it up into a
Yeah.
grassroots
Like, as
level.
far as I'm concerned, the whole system needs to be burned down. Like, it does not work. It's made through a colonial perspective. It was designed to only allow a few types of people to have power and make decisions. So I would like, to me, democracy is a myth. And I would just burn the whole system down. It's let's start from scratch.
Yeah, there you
Anyway,
go. Yeah.
anyway, I don't want no spoilers from my book. Um,
Well, that's fair because I
yeah.
haven't yet to read it and I want to.
Let's just say this is a fantasy world of mine, this book.
But you
Okay.
know, fantasy can influence politically.
Come on. Come on. There we go.
Oh, we have a cat cam.
I think somebody was asking me a question. So Groove Dragon is wondering if I am Minuet. Or is it Minuet? Minuet is a 1400-year-old vampire. I am not. Hello. Hello. And she also has a white streak in her hair. I don't.
Oh,
That's how you can tell us apart.
yeah.
Although I will admit, when I live in the fantasy world, I do, as many authors do, they visualize themselves as the main character. And
Mhm.
so when I visualize Minuet, I do visualize myself as that character. Um, although there are things in her personality that are very different than mine.
So those slinkies in your on your shelf there in the
Yep.
back, how much how long did it take you to just curiosity, how long did it take you to accrue some like to acquire, I guess?
I have over 300 Slinkies.
Really? Oh, that's awesome.
I've been collecting them since I was a teenager.
That is awesome. Oh, that is and it's a very I just have one. It's one of the originals. It's
Mhm.
like the one you have, but
Mhm.
it's the glass one. I like the I like them both. I like the
Yeah.
plastic
Yeah.
ones.
I have my Slinky collection over on the shelves where I can see it that you guys can't. And when I was originally starting to do TikTok videos, some of the backdrops you can see the Slinky collection because I thought that would be a fun backdrop for them. Uh, but the way my setup is right now, my camera is too mobile and I don't like recording on my phone and all that sort of stuff. So
Yeah, my phone's a little wonky itself, so
yeah,
I tend to be more.
if you go back to my first TikTok video, you can see my Slinky collection.
Yeah, that's why I'm waiting for UpScrolled to like I said, I'm on UpScrolled.
Mhm.
If people want to go follow me there, maybe I'll
Ah,
send you the link.
there's comments about the new mod badge.
Oh, you mean the badge? Yeah,
It looks like
I guess
a
YouTube.
shield, but not really a shield. And people preferred the wrench. Well, I think the logic behind it is they're trying to shield you from the shit of the trolls or something. I don't know.
Yeah, makes sense. Um,
But the wrench actually, yeah, I kind of like the wrench. It looked.
yeah, the wrench was better.
Yes, Moomy, I do have a cat slinky
What was I was gonna say something. Um,
and a Garfield slinky.
oh, I grew up on Garfield.
No, actually, I don't have a Garfield one. I have an Odo one.
Odie,
Odie, yeah.
yeah, the dog.
Hmm. I have slinkies
Garfield.
that make
I call it.
noise, slinkies that glow in the dark, slinkies that are also plush toys, neon slinkies, slinkies with all sorts of patterns, different shapes, different sizes, of course, and just will go over them. Slinkies that are like not official slinkies, but are basically slinkies. Yeah.
Um, yeah, Garfield's frenemy was Odie.
Yeah. Let's see. So Groove Dragon. I'm just making sure. Groove Dragon, sure, there are lots of vampires that dye their white to go undercover. Why do I never see you and Minuet in the same room at the same time?
Looney Tunes 9000 says, "Have you considered getting off TikTok, Sandy?" At Left the Box,
Yeah.
you know it's TikTok is full of censorship.
Not so much here in
Yeah,
Canada. Not yet.
well,
The censorship that
that's
you guys are undergoing, again, you're not the center of the universe. That's you thing. Um,
yeah.
So it's not being censored the same way here in Canada yet. So like for me to get off TikTok would imply that I'm actively on it right now, which I'm not.
Right.
Because right now, basically, if I have a short or something that I've clipped for YouTube, then I would also post it on TikTok. I'm not making any original content for TikTok at this time. Um,
Yeah,
Whereas the
same.
original plan was to do that, but I'm only one
Yeah.
person.
Yeah, I think it's the same with UpScrolled, you know.
Yeah.
Once like for me, it's like once they get a desktop version rolled
Hmm.
out, which they will, um, I'll
Yes.
start doing more
Yeah,
short form
because
content there.
Real John Litham is mentioning that Upscroll is a bit of ghost town at the moment. Yep, it is.
Yeah. I've been getting a lot of follows lately, and a lot of them I think are just bots.
Uh, since it's still new enough, I do at least look at the profiles of the people who follow me. And a lot of the people who follow me, they're the types that will follow everyone just to see who will follow back and get the higher counts.
Or they'll like send DMs.
Hmm. Asking for money. Yeah. So yeah, a lot of the people who follow me, they follow like 14,000 people, but then they get like 1,000 followers back type thing. So if you
Yeah.
see something like that, it's because they're following everyone in hopes of being followed back to increase their numbers, and they don't
Oh,
actually, care.
yeah. Um, I think that the confusing thing is when you follow somebody, it doesn't have like on Blue Sky and Twitter, it has like a follows you thing, like a
Mm.
little. They don't have that on.
I haven't looked too much into it. I know that I can't go back and see what my likes are yet,
Right.
or you can't see who's liked your stuff
Right.
other than the initial notification type thing. Um, so it's still a work in progress, but
Yeah, it's still in its early phase.
I was on
So,
Blue Sky when it first started too, and it's a lot of the same issues.
mm,
Like Blue Sky took a while to develop into what it is. When I first got on it, it was also very bare bones. Like it was invite only at that time too.
yeah,
Um,
before they went public.
and a lot of the features that it currently has, it didn't have back then. So it'll
Yeah.
take time.
It I think at that point also it wasn't public than it is now. Is it public, Blue Sky?
Yeah, anyone can join.
Oh, yeah, because I remember when people started getting invites. Uh, I'll be honest, Sandy. I was really jealous when I was like watching Leftist Mafia and seeing
Mm.
all the people that I am like friends with on Twitter get fucking they get like Blue Sky codes, and I'm like they're there, and I'm
Mhm.
like, where's mine?
Yeah.
I want to join. I
Well,
feel left out here.
since I was able to get on really early, I had a lot of codes that I could give out. It was to the point that I was just sending out like a tweet and being like, if you're a mutual of mine, let me know and I'll send you a code. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I actually got on the person that that I had the cameo done for
Mm-hmm.
me. Oh, God damn it, what's his name? The person I paid for a cameo to get Sam Cedar on my show. I got him on. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and a bunch of other people. Oh, fuck, what's his name? It's bugging me. I should know his name. Um, People in the SandBox. What is the name of Sam's friend that I had made the cameo to get Sam to come on my show?
You should get Owen Jones to come on the show because I saw you did if you haven't already. I saw
uh,
you did the drawing
I
for
would
his.
love to have him on my show, but I have zero way of contacting him.
Yeah, same. I would if you want to, I would reach out on your behalf and be like, hey, follow
Yeah.
Sandy or go on
Um,
Sandy Lewis's program.
as I don't even know if he's even seen the drawing. I suspect at this point he probably has, but I'm just some rando to him on social media because I've even posted the drawing on Upscroll where he's at,
Mhm.
and it's not like he's being bombarded there, but he gets like 10,000 messages a day through the different platforms and whatnot. So it's very hard to break through the noise. And like I've responded to tweets with the image and stuff, but so I suspect he might have seen it, but for him to have to go through the research of finding out who I am and stuff of that sort.
Mhm.
So yeah. But yeah, I would love to have him on my show or be on his show. Again, I would love to be on a show that's bigger than mine.
Yeah. I think I found him out. I found Owen out through Navarra Media, which is like
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
consider them like a UK alternative to BBC.
I
Speaking of
forget
like corporate,
yeah, I forget exactly where I came across his content. It might have been through the Majority Report originally because
mhm.
he was on the Majority Report. And then as soon as you mention Owen Jones on social media or something like that, or I click on a video with him, you get bombarded in the algorithms with
Yeah,
his videos.
yeah.
So then I started watching more
Um,
of his videos.
what was I gonna say? I mean, I can't believe Majority Report has passed its 20-year anniversary. I mean, I can remember the
Mhm.
time when they were still on Air America. In fact, there's a documentary called Left of the Dial about the history of Air America, and they don't. Oh,
I need to be off my lap now. Whew.
give that cat love. Go give that cat love.
Oh, he is
Um,
getting fur all over me right now. He sheds like crazy.
yeah.
Mhm.
The documentary it's called Left of the Dial. It's about the history of Air America Radio, and that's where Majority Report started.
Mhm.
I think you probably covered this with uh, your interview with Sam a few years ago during the your 2-year anniversary about how he was like acting and got into radio and worked with Janine Garofalo, who's like she's like a kick-ass comedian. Like she's Gen X, uh, but she's really a kick-ass comedian.
Mhm.
Am I talking your ear off? Am I boring you?
No, sorry. I'm so distracted about who I had on my channel right now that I need to
Oh,
go find out. Uh, um, because it's really bugging me. Because I think
oh,
somebody put a couple of ideas in there. It's like, no, I paid for a cameo of one of Sam's friends to have to send out a video asking Sam to come on my show. And
right.
I know, sorry, this is going to autoplay for a second. Oh no, it won't because it's live. Okay. So let's let's see if I'm searching my channel right now.
No problem. I will. I'm curious as when did you first find out about the Majority Report?
Uh, Charlie Kirk.
Charlie Kirk,
Okay. Yeah. Oh my God. I not? Oh, Andy Kindler. That's it.
who follows me on social media,
Yeah.
actually.
Andy Kindler. And at the time, it was like
Who I
one of my
love.
best performing videos. Yeah, Andy Kindler is who I had on. Yes, I found out about the Majority Report through Charlie Kirk because that was around the time. So the whole cycle of it was, I had started watching TYT
Hmm.
around the first time Trump was getting elected. That's when I first found out about them. And, it was basically through the encouragement of TYT that I'm like, I'm going to get involved in politics. So one
Yeah,
of the things that I wanted to do was learn how to do debates better. And I kept on hearing like, these right wingers are so good at debates. Like like all these right wingers, they totally kill in debates and stuff like. And so I was watching, like I was trying to watch a lot of debate content, and very quickly I'm like, what the fuck are anyone talking about? These people, they're horrible at debating. They're not
yeah,
good.
yeah,
It's just the audience. And then
yeah.
when I saw Charlie Kirk and Sam Cedar debate, I looked at Sam. I'm like, that's it. That's how you to debate. That's who I need to study. That's it. That's him. That's the Sam guy. That is who I need to look into to figure out how to do debates. And that's when I found out about Majority Report.
And it's been smooth sailing ever since.
If you want to call it that. Yeah.
For me, like I had found out about TY or about the Majority Report through Air America. But I actually saw Sam. We're going like way back into like the mid 2000s during like Keith Olbermann era MSNBC when a Diet Coke honestly sounds really good right now. Or for me a Coke
Mhm.
Zero. Because I've been drinking a lot of it. I shouldn't, but
Mhm.
um Keith Olbermann era MSNBC, uh Sam Cedar when he was on Air America, I don't think he was doing I think the Majority Report kind of had a gap year where they ended and then came back to do YouTube. But he did a show called The Sam Cedar Show, uh, and he would go on MSNBC a lot as a guest. So yeah, that's how I found out about
Mhm.
that Majority Report.
Yeah. But yeah, that's oh, that was a while ago.
Yeah. Did you know they had a book out like in 2006, or he had a book out? Let me see if I
Uh
could find.
Fubar?
Uh, no, Sam Cedar.
Yeah, Fubar.
Oh, yeah. I haven't read it, and I've been looking for it.
I've been trying to look for it, but like you can get it on like Amazon as an ebook, but I don't want an ebook. I check like when I go into old bookstores and stuff like that, I do like use
Ah,
bookstores and stuff, I do check to see, but
yeah,
uh,
nothing.
I haven't come across
I
it.
think there's a Half Price Books, local bookstore. Well, it's a used bookstore here in where I live, and I'm tempted to go on their website and look for Fubar
Hmm.
just to see if I could find it, or maybe ask
Hmm.
the clerk, be
Well,
like,
I've
"Hey,
asked, yeah, I've gone into like local secondhand bookshops and asked, and they have inventories and stuff like that. And so far, I haven't had any luck. But I have been looking, actively looking for it when I go out to these places. But it's not in print, so.
yeah, I mean, it's been what 15 years.
Hmm.
I think he needs to write another book. He needs to write another book.
Well, you should at least
It's
voice
theater,
act in their book. I got the
or maybe
audiobook of
the Fubar.
no of
Oh,
Against the
Against the
Web.
Web. Yeah, I have my copy.
Hmm.
Is behind. It's not on display, but
Hmm.
how is it? How is the audiobook?
It's very Sam Cedar.
Very safe theater. That's
Yeah,
good to know. I'm sorry, these questions
yeah.
are
He does a
really.
great impression of Jordan Peterson in it.
Yeah, it makes me miss Michael. I miss him a
Hmm.
lot. I didn't even know him. I know we got into this because
Hmm.
of him.
Yeah, that's what I did. But unfortunately, it was right around the time he passed away, so I never even had a chance to reach out to him.
Yeah, I was ironically I found out about his passing through TYT.
Hmm.
I was shocked. I was literally like, "What?" Like
Well,
they
yeah.
literally had gone off the air. Oh, go
Hmm.
ahead.
Yeah, like I have a hard time with name recall and things like that, but I just remember I watched it on TYT when Anna mentioned it, and I'm like, wait, why is that name so familiar? And I already was feeling devastated that there's something severely wrong with it, and then I like, oh my god, it's him.
And it was even painful like the next day to like
Hmm.
the next morning to like watch the Majority Report and just see Sam broken down.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, I actually didn't go out to something I was planned to go out the next day, so I would just sit and watch that live on the Majority Report. Um, and just so people know, just because I forget somebody's name doesn't mean that they're not important to me. It's an autistic
yeah.
thing. Like I can know somebody for 8 years and still be kind of stumped as to what their name
I
is.
I have that as a fellow autistic person. I have that same thing with
Hmm.
saying it happens. I like that's the thing with like movies and books that I
Hmm.
watch, and then I like it so much, and then a months pass, and then I'm like, did I? What was that movie I was watching, or
I
that book
don't
I was
even
reading?
remember one of the characters' names in my book. It's just I
Yeah.
do not remember names. Like if I go to an event to somebody and they're like, "Oh, let's meet up on social media afterwards," I'm like, "Okay, so what you have to do? Put tomato in the subject line, and I'll know who you are." Like I have to do
Hmm.
something like that because if they just contact me and say their name, I won't know who they are.
Right.
Um, and I
Right.
had a normal job for years, like 8 years. And even at the end of that, I would still sometimes just go in and say good morning to people, but never mention their name because I
Mhm.
wasn't sure. And I remember like exams in college and stuff, the first question always stumped me. What's the name of your professor?
Really? They did that? Like, what's your professor's name on the first? Man, that's like for
Because,
me. That's
it was just like they get fed through machines and stuff like that, or different teachers can teach similar subjects and stuff, and it's like, what's the name of your professor? And I was like, god damn it, I don't know.
that's like the
Oh.
trick. That's like a trick question. That's like the first question's always the trick one.
Hmm.
Uh, so, have you been also following Star Trek lately?
Again, I don't have the streaming services.
Right. Yeah. You can always watch on bootleg though.
I'm not very good at doing that sort of thing. It's a process. Somebody needs to
Yeah.
like show me, but somebody did get me the box set of Strange New Worlds that I still have to see. And I have seen all of Picard.
Mhm.
Again, somebody lent me the box set. But I do
And
want to
that's
see all of
another
them.
place. Yeah.
Yeah, I do want to see all of them just so that I can watch all of Jesse Gender's videos on.
Oh, I've actually respected a lot of Jesse
Mhm,
Gender. I finally got on their Discord, which I've been wanting to do for like months. And then I subscribed to their Patreon, which is sad
mhm,
because I feel bad because I can't give money.
mhm,
You know, there's like a lot of people I wish I could give money to. A lot of like yourself and other leftist
mhm,
content creators, fellow content creators. And then I was on Patreon one evening and I saw that there was a link to the Discord that was open. As I joined the Discord, and then I did, and I was like, yes. I even left a Discord server that I was not active in,
mhm.
just joined Jesse Gender's Discord, and I was like, yes. So I'm there now.
I'd
I'm
like to
still
get
waiting to.
in on their Discord. Uh,
I
yeah,
can send you the link if you want me to.
I'd appreciate it.
I'll
I
send you
forget
the.
why, but recently I was wanted to contact them about something specific. But actually, Jesse Gender is going to be the subject of my next drawing.
Oh,
It's going to be in pencil crayon. I'm going to
cool.
attempt it in pencil crayon. I want to do a color photo of
Not
her.
not that you have to do this anytime soon. Oh, I didn't mean to cut you off there. I'm sorry.
No,
Like, how would you draw me? It would it be compliment? It would be probably complicated because I have long hair.
no.
Just
Your hair is fairly straight though.
yeah.
Um, like complicated hair would be Olimey's hair when I drew her.
Hmm.
Or somebody with like super curly hair would be more complicated. But
Hmm.
with more straight type of hair or fur, like cat fur and stuff like that, where it's mostly straight, that's not so hard. Um, like Sam Cedar's hair is fairly straight, so I didn't really have issues with that.
He's
Um,
definitely got the beard going the last couple years. It really suits him.
yeah, I have a couple drawings with him with that. Um, but yeah, Jesse Gender's going to be the subject of my next drawing. And then I have some other people in mind. But again, I need to focus on getting work done.
This is work. This is what we do.
Yeah, I
This
need
is
to
content.
focus on getting this done. Oh,
This is what we do. That's what I have to remind. I don't know if you watch I Am Blakely at all.
no.
If you know who they are, but they're a
Mhm,
content creator on the left, and they've been adamant about saying like this is work.
mhm.
Content creation is work.
It
So
is. It is. Yeah, absolutely it is. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. One of my frustrations is that, yes, this is my job. I'm producing content on YouTube, yet I have no say over my workplace and what
yeah.
happens there and
Soul
how they
Life
want
in
to do things and all that sort of stuff.
right. Soul Life in chat says Discord is a weird place. Some sometimes
Mhm.
LOL. Like whenever I get to a streamer's Discord, it's either exactly what I thought it'd be or nothing at nothing at all what I thought it'd be. It's in its own world. Yeah, I mean that's a good point. So
Like, I'm technically
I
on Discords for people, like the space and Majority Report and stuff like that. I do not understand them.
yeah. I use it more for social
Mhm.
reasons.
Yeah. No.
Like I just joined
Mhm.
a university, like a film group Discord
Mhm.
yesterday that I'm using to
Mhm.
because I'm going to be doing a film project. I actually have two
Mhm.
film projects that I'm
Yeah.
doing. This one I'm doing for school. That we're going to be start filming in 2 weeks. I'm the co-director and the
Mhm.
script writer, so I have to start writing the script soon.
Mhm.
Um, and I'm happy about that. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, if you need a beta reader.
You know what, that would be great. That would be once I actually start writing it because it's not going to be a very long script. I'll send it to you, and then you can give me your honest feedback.
I'm good at beta reading compared to whoever beta read my book. Because I do stick to, I'm not going to give you like, oh, I liked it or didn't like it. I'd be like, so this is what made sense to me. This didn't make sense.
Mhm.
I need this cleared up.
Yeah.
And, I tend to be more analytic when I do that sort of thing.
Right. Right. So who beta read Necroplasm and was
I don't
like,
know. Um,
so they
nec-
don't tell you? Oh, go
no, it
ahead.
was part of an online publishing derby. So it was free
Mhm.
to people to join, and it happens every year, where they have 50 book covers with fake author names on them. Like the titles are there and
Mhm.
everything. And then you select which ones you like, you rank them, and then they're doled out to people based on rankings. And then you write a book based on that cover.
Mhm.
And we all go through the same process in the same stage. And so then at one point it's like, okay, now you send it off to a beta reader. And it's somebody who's volunteered to be a beta reader within the group or another of the authors and stuff. And it stays anonymous as to who's doing what, because even as you're writing the book, you have to remain anonymous. Like you're not
Yeah.
allowed to promote it under your real name while you're doing this. And so I don't know who beta read mine. I just know one person only did. But then again, my book was one of the longest. Because I wrote like a book that was 80,000 words in like 2 months, more or less. 3 months. Yeah. And
Yeah.
so I don't know who they were. And then I didn't go through the ARC phase because there was an ARC reading
Mhm.
phase and whatnot. But yeah, so I don't know. But I felt a lot better about the feedback that I gave someone else of their book that I read.
Yeah.
Because,
So
yeah.
do you chose the pseudonym or the what you write it under?
No,
Or do you not?
there were author names, like fake author names on it that you could
Right.
then try to promote the book under. And then once the derby was over, then you could say this was my book and stuff. And so then that's when I changed the title.
So
Well, I didn't change the title. I changed the author name on the cover, and I
mhm.
changed the cover slightly.
Mm.
Well, slightly. It's actually, I don't know how drastically. So the cover, the necroplasm and stuff used to be like in greens and purples, like cooler
Mhm.
colors. And in the book, originally, I changed the color of the necroplasm to match that. So in the book, the necroplasm is lime green originally,
Mhm.
but I just
Mhm.
had it in my head that it was tangerine orange.
Oh.
And so after the derby and stuff was over, I changed the cover and stuff to the warm tones and the kind of like the orangey red in the title to
Yeah.
match what I saw in my head as the tangerine orange of the color of the
I th
necroplasm.
I think the warmer tones, look a lot it
Well,
looks much better.
I actually liked the cooler tones on it, but just when I first started visualizing what the necroplasm was, it was in my head that this is what it is. And um yeah, so I'm a,
Do you
I'm very
does
visual
it
with my books. Like I see the
right.
worlds.
Yeah, exactly. You have it in
Mhm,
your mind, and then you put it down on paper,
mhm,
and it just, like that's the thing with screenwriting is that it for me anyway, it's
mhm,
like I come up with a concept, and then once it's on paper,
mhm. Yeah,
it just takes a life of its own.
yeah. Like I can tell you exactly what a honey sugar crisp looks like, and it's in the book,
Mhm.
and whatnot. And so yeah. Anyway, I hope to get back to it
Um,
soon.
do you, do you hope that maybe that will be made into an adaptation of something like a book, like a mini series or a movie or something like that? Just
Um,
maybe offhand.
well,
Have you thought about that?
I have prequels and sequels planned.
Mhm.
And something that I wouldn't mind happening to it would be animated series, but like adult
Oh, that's
animated,
good. Mhm.
because it's hard when you have vampires that don't age.
Yes. Yeah.
And then I could voice Minuet.
Yeah.
uh,
I think it's
mhm,
better also for, like, an adult animation
mhm.
than a kid animation.
Yeah, and so it'd be like an animation series, but something the quality of Rebels, but the gratuitous of Invincible.
Mhm.
That makes
So, like, Star Wars and Star Trek
and
combined.
not early Clone Wars animations. I'm talking about
Just
Rebels.
like George Lu yeah.
um,
I need to catch up on my Star Wars.
like ideally, I would love it where they could do some face capture, and so
Mhm.
you could still have actors, you know? I don't want AI slop. I want like actors
Right.
so that they would do
Right.
the face capture of the actors. And so you could actually go in and act it out, is ideally what I would want. But
Yeah. AI
uh,
slop is learning is
mhm.
ruining
But yeah, I would love for it to be
culture.
like in a series, like in a animated series like that. But
Where would you pitch that to?
well, right now,
Like
no one
movie?
because it's just the first book and nobody's going to be
Right.
writing.
Right.
Um,
But like hypothetically, should say,
Probably like Amazon.
since it's already there.
Well, it's not so much there as in it has to be like a Netflix or an Amazon or something like that. It wouldn't be like syndicated TV
Right.
type thing. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, streaming
mhm.
is a it's really taken over the realm of
Mhm.
cable television.
Like if I had the technology and the crew, I would say, okay, we just make it and freaking post it on YouTube or something.
Yeah,
Um,
make it a YouTube series,
and then
YouTube
that
original.
way, again, I keep all creative process, and then it wouldn't be canceled suddenly because they didn't like the ratings or whatnot.
Right, that's like the big thing now.
Hmm.
It's always canceled because of low ratings,
Yeah, so
or
I
so
would,
they say.
yeah, so I would do that, but a comic book series of it too would be okay. But yeah, I need
That's
to.
something, that Matt would be.
Mhm.
That's Matt's line of work.
But yeah,
Matt.
there's prequels and sequels planned, and the prequels, like, there's going to be parts in this where it might not be uh, um, high driven reading. It's kind of like if you look at Star Trek The Next Generation, and it was very episodic, and some of them were just
My
about
favorite.
people living and growing and starting to understand themselves. Like an entire
Yeah,
episode would just be about Data trying to understand a little piece of humanity. Um,
right.
like there was no cataclysmic conflict going on or anything. And
Mhm.
there'll be times in the timeline where you're going to see a lot of that or about how to heal after trauma and stuff. But it's going to go in different phases because, the pre-trial, if you read the back of the book, you know that there's a trial that happens. The pre-trial, they're
Yeah,
pretty brutal. And so you'd be looking at almost like Game of Thrones-esque type brutality that was happening. But
right.
then after the trials and stuff and after the simmering down and things become a little bit more settled, you'd be looking at like Star Trek Next Generation level type engagement in because their entire society changes. And
Yeah,
then it will get to this book and overlapping and things that happen then in some sequels where again it's more high stakes, more brutal. And then afterwards, again, it'd be books about like, okay, now how do you heal after this trauma type thing, and
right.
moving forward and whatnot. So um, because it's the world doesn't stay static. The stories we tell in it doesn't stay static. And so their
Mhm.
culture doesn't stay static. And so trying to force, these huge narratives about like, okay, what is the calamity that is happening to keep people engaged? And so because of that, I think it would never be wildly successful. It would never like because people aren't going to be gripped in each episode, but each episode would still be very meaningful to the characters involved,
Mhm.
or each book. But sometimes the book is just going to be about okay how they met and moving on in life and the development between the relationships. It's not going to be about like okay we need to save the world.
Yeah, yeah, I just have to mention that's actually a good premise.
Mhm,
That's really good kind of you got, like, your own little
mhm,
franchise there going, that's
mhm,
great. Yeah, Star Trek Next Generation is actually my preferred just 'cause I'm a fan of Will Wheaton.
mhm.
I mean, I'm not sure that much other people can I don't know. I know
Mhm.
people have different opinions on Star Trek, so mine is Next Generation, so,
Yeah, no, the good morals I have is because I watched that growing up.
yeah.
But anyway, we've been at this for almost 3 hours,
Yeah, exactly, I actually have to
and my ear holes are hurting.
yeah, I actually have to get something for dinner.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna have pizza
Yeah.
again.
And I also need
Um,
to do dinner and stuff too. So is there anything else that you wanted to touch on?
no, this was fun.
Mhm.
I guess I should do the plug. You can find me on YouTube. You can find me on both my main show, the John Ross Show, and then you can also
Mhm.
find me on Honest Film Review,
Mhm.
which
I
is the
have your
new YouTube
Twitch
channel.
channel linked below. I'll need to link your
Yeah,
YouTube channel. If you could, just email Left of the Box
yeah.
with all of your, and I'll make sure that they're all added into the description with all of them, all of them.
Oh, no problem. And yeah, Twitch. I mean, I'm on Kick for what it's worth. I'm on Twitter. I'm on UpScrolled. I'm on TikTok. So I'm ever expanding on
Mhm.
the content creation broadcast thing. Uh, and also, I blog on Substack, uh, just for just for writing. Speaking of writing, so yeah, that's where I'm at.
Mhm.
So thanks for everyone. Thanks, Soul. Thanks, Looney,
Mhm.
for you're welcome, and thank you, Sandy, for having me on.
No problem. It's been a good conversation. And
Yeah, absolutely.
for anyone who doesn't, who is watching me because they are following John and you have no clue who I am, you can see me here on Left of the Box, but I'm starting a new art channel, Sandy Lovis, on YouTube. I still need to add more content to it, but I've mentioned before things kind of went off the rails because my 18-year-old cat passed away, and that has put a stop on a lot of my work.
Mhm.
I'm still waiting to get his ashes, and that's been very stressing.
Yeah.
Um, anyway, don't want to talk about it too much. Still end up crying. You can find me on all social media. Well, not all of them, but Instagram, Blue Sky, Twitter, UpScrolled as Sandy Lovis, and Left of the Box. I technically have a Left of the Box TikTok channel, but I'm never on it. Um, let's see, am I missing other? I have, oh, patron. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can become a patron.
Yeah.
You can
I'm also
also,
on all the same ones.
yeah, you can also subscribe to this channel to help out with leftist content. And just want to make sure I didn't miss anyone's chats. Nope. Okay.
And watch on this space,
Yeah,
I
this space.
which I'm also on. I'm on as a guest every now and then with
Hmm.
Alex. And also Sandy is obviously there as a host.
Yeah. Okay. I think I think that is it. Buy my book.
That's it.
Also, Amazon wish list to help out with art supplies and YouTube studio supplies and cat treats and treats for me. I'm not a cat though. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm just checking. I think that is it. So I will do my regular send off. Oh, right. Tomorrow,
Mm.
news live stream. See you all there
Yeah.
at 6 p.m. Eastern. So, and thank you to the mods. I keep on forgetting
Thank
things.
you.
Thank you to the mods. Thank you to everyone who's already helped out financially. I super appreciate it. And I think, well, just thank you for watching. And I
Yeah.
think I got that all now. I think that was everything. That was everything. So, salut, à la prochaine. Thank you for watching and stay tuned. I'm Sandy, wishing your tomorrow is better than your today.
Peace.